Right now, got a crash in Bellevue, I-40 eastbound at Old Hickory Boulevard West. Got northbound 65 on the North Loop, bumper to bumper, right before the Cumberland River. East and westbound East Loop is stop and go. And brake tapping is eastbound South Loop over to 65. Same thing goes for eastbound 440 between 65 and 24. Traffic every 10 minutes, every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Hello, friends. Welcome in. It is the Matt Murphy Radio Show, just as the man said. It's 7 minutes after 3 o'clock, and a good afternoon. Hope everybody's doing well so far. My name is Matt Murphy, conveniently so, because that's the name on the radio show. It is Wednesday. I have to do all of this in my head because I didn't update my notepad. It is Wednesday, August 6th, 2025. It is day 194 of Donald Trump's second term as president of the United States of America. We deliver that to you early and often just to annoy the liberals in the listening audience. He's got 1460.5 total in his second term. That means a lot to go before we say fare thee well to our 47th president of the United States of America. It's day 858 of our gatherings together today on this radio show. We started off from noon until 3. Now we're on from 3 until 7 on Super Talk 99.7 WT, and I feel like I'm sitting too high. Hold on. Oh, I can't get it down. Oh, I feel like I'm sitting too high. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's nicer. That's nicer. Sometimes you're just up a little too high. You got to get low. Got to get down where the goats can graze on it, and that's what we're going to try to do over the course of the next 4 hours on this radio show. I'm feeling very nihilistic today. And I don't know why, but I am. Maybe I had a very much of a me morning. Ken Weaver's back in News Closet B. He gathers headlines for a living. We'll get more on that Stewart shooting coming up in just a moment. I've got the latest on that in just a second on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello, Ken.
What's going on, boys? How about you?
How about you?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, busy day.
Busy.
Lots going on.
Day.
Lots happening.
Going on. Yes, sir.
We got 7th congressional district race happening. That's going to be here before you know it. We got the governor's race, hot and heavy.
Yeah, man. This is going to be something.
It should be mighty interesting. I've noticed something about Marsha Blackburn support and lack of support that I'm going to talk about here in the 3 o'clock hour in just a moment on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. But you might have heard, obviously John Rose announced some time ago that he was running for governor.
About 5 months ago.
Announced out at the Wilson County Fairgrounds and then made a beeline to the Matt Murphy Show, which I'm proud of.
Yes, sir.
Spoke to us first, and he was speaking with Chris Hand earlier today. Spent about an hour in his studio, this studio. And we'll speak on that coming up in just a couple of minutes. And then at 5:05 or thereabouts this afternoon, we will speak to the senator herself. Marsha Blackburn will join us for the first time, a declared candidate for the 2026 governor's race. She joins John Rose. Now, Ken?
Yes, sir.
Who's that other fellow?
Cito Pellegra.
Uh-huh.
And
spell that for me.
Cito.
Uh-huh.
Pellegra.
Pellegra.
Yeah, those are the three Republicans.
Is that like the water? Isn't there a water called Pellegra?
I have no idea.
Anyway. Cito Pellegra. Those are the 3 declared candidates.
3 declared Republican candidates.
Are there any Democrats declared?
Yeah, there are Democrats in it.
All right. Good for them. Way to go, Democrats. Yeah. Let's go.
I don't know if anybody knows them outside of Memphis, but...
You got some names over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. We got...
let's see if I know any of them.
Memphis City Council member Sherry Green.
Sherry Green. Oh, Sherry.
You know her?
Oh, Sherry.
Oh, Sherry.
Memphis. Anyway, sorry.
Memphis community advocate Carnita Atwater.
Well, Carnita.
And then
carnita, that's a delicious Mexican dish, isn't it?
Well, you got to put an S at the end of it.
Carnitas.
Carnitas.
Okay, very good.
Then I don't know if this fella's from Memphis or not, but he is a musician by the name of Adam Ditch Kurtz. And then Tim Sear from Gallatin.
Tim Sear from Gallatin.
So that's right here in our neighborhood.
Adam Ditch Kurtz.
Adam Ditch Kurtz, Kurtz.
What do you think? What kind of music do you think Adam plays? I mean, that's got to be a metal guy, right?
Dude, I have.
With a name like, well, I mean, he could be a country guy. With a name like Ditch?
Ditch, yeah. Yeah. You know,
I mean, it
folks,
makes me feel a slash,
There's ditches out in the country.
Yeah, that's right. You know.
Sometimes you got to dig a ditch.
Yeah, you ditch the women, we're going stag. I don't know. Hey, speaking of ditching the women and going stag, Jackson Williams is here on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. What's going on, Jackson?
I need a better intro than that.
Oh, that was pretty good. You love it?
How you doing, bud?
I'm good. You all right?
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Making it for a Wednesday?
Yeah. Thursday Eve.
Yeah, that's what some would call it. Some that want to be smacked. That's what those some call it. Sure. I'm feeling, yesterday I had the sock problem. Y'all remember my sock problem?
Yes.
Had a sock problem yesterday.
Shoes eating your socks.
Oh, man, I don't even know why I try the ankle socks anymore. And you know what, Ken? I love you. You know how much I love you.
Yes, sir.
Stretching them out didn't help.
It
didn't help a bit.
Huh.
I don't know what it is. I think I've got weird ankles. I've got deformed ankles.
Weird.
I do. I think my ankles just choose to eat my socks, and I don't care for it, and so I'll wear long socks from now on.
From now on.
Well, today I feel very productive today. I feel like I had very much a me morning.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. I went bright and early Hendersonville at Dr. Greaves, having my teeth cleaned at the Dr. Greaves dental office up there in Hendersonville.
I hate the process of getting the teeth clean, but I love it afterwards.
Man, it's so good.
It really is.
I mean, you just feel like, and Ken, for those of you of a certain age, if your gums start receding on you and you've got that calculus buildup underneath the gum line, I had that, Ken.
Oh, yeah?
And then earlier this year, they did the deep calculus clean, which I don't know if they use this to torture terrorists, but they should, because that's what it feels like. I mean, it is bad. They curl the gums up and they dig underneath there, and then they let the gums flap back down.
Ooh.
So that was awful. They have to numb your mouth up. They do one side of your face and then the other side of your face on a different day.
Boy, you got some deep cleaning then.
Well, that's what happened 5 months ago. So now I come back and I'm getting a regular cleaning going, and they have to check to see if my gum disease has receded or advanced, and I'm happy to report that it has receded. So
that's the way to go, Brother Murphy.
there you go. The gum, the deep clean. Oh, well, it's not me. Thank you, Dr. Greaves and all the folks over there cleaning my teeth. I said, my Abigail, my physical therapist, I told her that I'd been at the dentist 4 months ago and I had to go again today.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, wait a minute, you're going every 4 months? I thought you only went every 6 months. And I said, well, clearly my dentist does not believe that I can be trusted, which is true. I mean, I'd go, as good as your mouth feels afterwards, man, I'll go every 3 months. I don't mind.
I like that flavored fluoride they polish on them after they're cleaned up, man.
Oh, yeah. Mine had a little, like a little bubble gummy type deal going on.
I love that bubble gum.
Hey, Jackson, you get your teeth cleaned over there or what?
Yeah, I get my teeth cleaned.
I mean, you're a Tennessee fan. I didn't want to assume anything.
the three that I have.
That's the kind of show it's going to be today, y'all.
Oh, so you're just going to come at me?
I'm just warning you. I'm in
a little bit sideways today.
In that sort of mood. I had a me day because I had a me day.
So you should be refreshed and nice.
You would think. So I had the teeth cleaned early this morning.
Yeah.
And then went directly from the teeth cleaning to the hair cutting.
I was getting ready to say, dude, that is a sharp-looking haircut.
Well, thank you, Ken. I appreciate that.
Don't lie to him,
know,
Ken.
I don't know about all of that. I know that it got cut. I'll tell you that.
That's a good-looking haircut.
We got our ears lowered. We left some hair on the floor. If you want to see it, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Rumble. That's the way to observe the haircut for yourself. But my grandpa would call this an ears lowering. That's what it was.
Did you get a haircut or all of them cut?
Well, I mean, that's not up to me. That's the guy that holds the shears. He handles that.
Where
I don't
do
know
you
how
go?
many he cut. I went over to, I've been a free agent for a minute, and I got called out for being a free agent for a minute because, I didn't cut my hair for like a year.
Yeah, you went a long time.
Leading up to the Trump election, and then I decided not to cut it until Trump got inaugurated, and then the singing barber did it. And then I went to a couple of different places after that. But I'm back to Brian's Man Cave on North Mount Juliet Road in beautiful Mount Juliet. Shout out to Brian. That's a free plug for Brian and his team. They do a great job over there. And I got for the first time since I've been to Brian's in Mount Juliet, I got Brian. I got him in the chair. Me, Brian, the owner, the proprietor of the shop. We had a great conversation.
Does he wear the white smock and everything? Got a comb in the pocket?
He's got a gray schmuck and a smile on his face. Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Oh, yeah, and he's got that smell good stuff that he throws on the back of your neck after he shaves that
Yes, sir.
neckline.
Yeah, I love that stuff. Back whenever I got haircuts, I need to get some of that stuff just whenever I shave my own head, just to rub some of that smell good on myself.
Yeah, just pop on there.
Yeah.
Pop. And it kind of tingles a little.
Yeah.
Get a little zzz, little tingling going on. And he asked me, he said, "You want me to shape up that beard?" I said, No, don't worry about it.
We're going to let that grow.
Yeah, we're just going to let that happen naturally. So, yeah, I had the teeth cleaning and the hair cutting and then the physical therapy.
Why? Boy, you just
Busy day for old Matt Murphy.
I know.
got it all in the
Felt like
day.
work. And now I get to come and talk to you folks. So this will be a breeze. And all the while, I'm hearing about Marsha Blackburn announcing her candidacy. Now, I will admit to you that we had an inkling of an idea that this would happen today, in as much as we had scheduled Marsha to be on yesterday, today. I should say that differently. We scheduled yesterday her appearance today on the show, and they gave me a little bit of a heads up as to why that was. I think she might say as much, that it is exactly 1 year before the primary. That is one of the reasons that they decided to announce today. We will ask Marsha why she made the decision so soon into this term as United States Senator to kind of switch horses in the stream and serve, or attempt to serve in a different capacity, as the chief executive of Tennessee government, as the governor of the state of Tennessee. We'll do that at 5:05 this afternoon. She will be on phone today. It will be a briefer conversation today, 10 or 12 minutes. But we expect a more long-form conversation. I've already thrown it up on social media platforms. At Matt Murphy Show is my X Machine account. If you have any questions for Senator Marsha Blackburn, throw them up there. You can also throw them up on the Super Text line at 615-737-9986. 615-737-9986. Obviously, it is one of the worst-kept secrets in Tennessee politics.
It came out of clear blue sky.
Right, that's what they tell me, right? Who saw this one coming? Everybody. But Marsha is running. John Rose is running. Cito Pellegra is running.
Yes, sir.
And so we've got a lot to talk about over the next year or so to decide who will be the next governor of this state. Let me say something that I've noticed about Senator Marsha Blackburn. We'll discuss this for a bit. I want some of your comments on it. I want your thoughts on all of this. We will suspend this conversation for a brief time at about 3:35, 3:40 this afternoon as we welcome back Skylar and Morgan, who will tell us about the big event on the Hill later on this week that I'll be speaking at. I'm speaking at this thing, right, Jackson? Are you coming?
Maybe. What day is it?
It's Friday, Jackson. And you're young, and we want you to be a Republican. Well, they do. I don't care. I'm a free agent.
You're a free agent?
I am a free agent. I belong to the Leave Me the Hell Alone party.
That's a good one.
It is a good one. They ask for a monthly donation of $0, and I give it to them on a monthly basis. You should. I think you're a little occupied on Friday.
Yeah,
maybe.
I'm a little busy.
It's too bad. I'm gonna dress up nice and look. I'm on the dang flyer. Look at there. I'm on the flyer, for goodness sake.
Oh, they need to print new ones.
Well, put a little.
They want people to show up, right?
Come on, man. I was like,
Boy.
I wasn't even third string. I think I was like fourth string. Fourth string.
Emergency quarterback kind of thing.
Right. That's exactly right. The punter went out hurt, and the backup punter was the kicker, and he's hurt. So now you got to get the third string quarterback that took 2 snaps for punts on the fourth practice of the year. Now he's got to come out and punt.
Well, and you only got one long snapper.
Oh, no. And now, I mean, what are we going to do? So, yeah, I mean, they're sure. But Friday, that'll be good. We'll talk about that. But here's what I've noticed about Senator Blackburn. And I was talking to somebody, believe it or not, occasionally I'm asked to give my thoughts on other radio stations around the state. And I was in Chattanooga at WGOW, the talk monster. And I was speaking with the host down there, and we were talking about the popularity of Marsha Blackburn. And I'm fascinated with the level of dislike among her detractors, like the amount of disdain that comes through for people that have decided that they don't like Marsha. And yet, Senator Blackburn has won. I mean, I don't know. I've not been here for the entire arc of her political career, but she started as a state representative, right? She was a senator, if I'm not mistaken. Moved on to the House of Representatives for a while, serving the 7th Congressional District. Then she became a United States Senator, and to my knowledge, has won everything she's run for. If not every single race, just about. And probably every one. So I would put her popularity somewhere around 65. I mean, amongst Republicans, I mean, there's no question that a majority of the Republicans in this state like Marsha Blackburn. Now, if you don't, and I feel you and I hear you and your voice is valid and your opinion is valid, but understand you're in the minority. Otherwise, she wouldn't continue to destroy the competition in the way that she does. It's not just about money, although, you know, that's some of it. So there has to be something there, one would think. But what is interesting to me, and I'm not judging it, I'm not furthering any thought down the road. I'm just observing that there's about a 70% or so mark on the Republican side that like Marsha Blackburn. But I have noticed that, let's call it 30%. I think that's a fair, you know, of all of the Republicans, 70% love Marsha Blackburn, 30% don't. Man, the 30% that don't really, really don't. And anytime she comes on the show, we hear about it. And why is that? Why is that? I'm genuinely curious. I mean, anytime I have her on the show for an interview, when we bring her up as a possible gubernatorial candidate, I feel like the detractors, those that don't like Senator Blackburn, really make their voices heard. But statistically speaking, you represent a minority of conservatives or Republicans in Tennessee. I mean, y'all know that, right? You might not like it, but you should know it. Now, that doesn't mean that she's going to be the next governor. John Rose is a perfectly likable congressman. I love having John on the show, and I believe that John will present a set of ideas and a set of values that perhaps differs from Marsha Blackburn's set of ideas and set of values, and that's what elections are all about. But here's what I would advise you before we go any further. You do not have to pick until it is a time for picking. And I would encourage you to not select anyone until the time comes. The most precious thing that you have leading up to any election cycle is your vote. And once you hand your vote in word, once you verbalize that, once you decide in your own mind that you are for this person and against that other person, I believe that you close yourself off to the possibility that there might be information that you don't know. And I would encourage you to hold on through the fall at least. My admonishment to you is to wait until 2026 to decide who you want to be the next governor of this state. You don't have to decide right now. Just wait. And as we get closer, things will become clear. It's very late, 26 after the hour. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello, friends. Matt Murphy for Stoltz Co. I want to tell you about Stoltz Co. and everything they have to offer in Middle Tennessee. If you own land and you're looking something to do something to improve the value of that land, if you want to put your money into real assets by building on your land, I encourage you to contact Stoltz Co. Stoltz Co. builds high-quality, customized structures at a reasonable price. Things like barn-dominiums, pole barns, garages, equestrian spaces, and event spaces, all very affordable, all very convenient, and you can participate in that process as much or as little as you want. If you're looking for a future home and you're thinking about a barn-dominium, contact Stoltz Co. Sit down with them and talk to them about the barn-dominium options. Friends, these things are fabulous. They're awesome, and they cost so much less than traditional home construction. Maybe it's a man cave or a she shed. Stoltz Co. can help you out. 615-622-5992, 622-5992, or online at stoltzco.com. That's STOLTZCO.com. stoltzco.com. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy. The Tennessee Men's Clinic can help you gentlemen out with any male-centric need you might have. You need to go to a male-centric location, a male-centric medical facility when you are dealing with men's issues. And sadly, too many men wait for far too long to deal with these things. Guys, I'm talking about issues with testosterone. I'm talking about things that might happen during middle age, in your 40s, into your 50s. If you have issues that have manifested itself in energy loss or lack of intimacy or bedroom activity, all you have to do is go to the Tennessee Men's Clinic, a name that you can trust. 2 locations to serve you. One is in Midtown. That's the OG since 2014. The other opened up several years ago in Cool Springs. Either of these locations have qualified urologists. They're going to go over you. You're going to get results the same day, and you can create an action plan that day that will help you regarding your issues. Let's go to TennesseeMen'sClinic.com, TennesseeMen'sClinic.com, or 615-208-9090, 208-9090.
3:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. 5 soldiers injured in that active shooting at Fort Stewart, Georgia today. Said, looks like officials say they are going to survive, make full recoveries. The soldiers initially treated at the scene, then transported to hospitals. Now, 2 of them went to a level 1 trauma center, but again, officials say they're all going to survive. Authorities say the shooter is in custody. 28-year-old Army Sergeant Cornelius Radford. Officials say he was arrested in May at a traffic stop for driving under the influence. That's about all we know about this sergeant's past. Here's more from ABC's Luis Martinez.
I should point out that Fort Stewart is a very large base. It's a very important base for the Army. It's home to the Army's 3rd Infantry Division, which is one of its larger armored units. So there's a lot of training that goes on there as well. There's also some attached airfields where some training goes on, and it's close to Savannah, Georgia.
Right now in Tennessee.
I'm Marsha Blackburn. Here in the volunteer state, we always lead the way. And that's why I am announcing my candidacy for governor.
Yeah, Blackburn, the 3rd Republican to announce for the governor's race and 2nd major candidate, including 6th District Congressman John Rose, who reacted to Blackburn's announcement on WTN's Chris Hand show this morning.
A little bit surprised. You know, she just got elected to a fresh 6-year term in the Senate, and I think Tennesseans sent her there to do a job. And so I thought at the end of the day that she probably would decide to fulfill that obligation and serve out those 6 years. So I'm a little surprised, not shocked.
Yeah, the Republican primary election a year from today, followed by the general election on November 3rd. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, let's check it out there, drivers. Right now, we've got the usual slowdown if you're eastbound 24, basically on the East Loop, then over to the 40 Eastern Split, and then all the way down to Bell Road. Northbound 65, it is stop and go from 440 up to the South Loop. And then you've got the eastbound South Loop. It is bumper to bumper. Sometimes you're coming to a complete stop there before you get to 65. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
All right, so let's talk for a moment about advanced hair and what makes advanced hair restoration different than all the other guys. Allow me to share some of these details and tell you about their incredible summer savings event. So first off, Advanced Hair stands by their results. Their before and afters that you will find on their website that I'm going to give you in a moment or second to none. With Advanced Hair, you grow your own natural hair, and it's guaranteed. Number 2, Advanced Hair combines top-rated physicians with modern technology, creates somewhat of a concierge experience that's hard to replicate anywhere else. You can't find it anywhere else. Advanced Hair's advanced FUE procedure begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. It's quick, it's simple, it's easy, and it works. Now, if you have a flexible schedule for the rest of the summer and you've been waiting for a special savings opportunity, it's already here. Advanced Hair's summer savings event is going on right now. You get the most hair for your dollar, the best offer ever. For details and to schedule your free consultation, call 629-348-HAIR, 629-348-HAIR, or go to advancedhair.com. That's advancedhair.com. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I cannot wait to get into this next conversation. We will suspend Marsha Blackburn for governor talk, John Rose for governor talk, or who's the third guy again? Oh, I had his name written down here. Cito Pellegra for governor talk until the 4 o'clock hour. We've got two special guests in studio with us to talk about Young Conservatives Day on the Hill, which is happening this Friday from 1 until 4 o'clock. I'm a part of it. Obviously, I'm going to be at the front end of the program, not the back end of the program, because I have to get back over here and do a radio show. It is at the Tennessee State Capitol, but we'll talk about that in a moment. We were talking about Jackson. We're in the middle of this conversation. Hello, Jackson.
What's up?
How are you? You
I'm
got
all right.
you got your shot? Am I disturbing you from getting the shot? You got to get the shot. You got the shot?
We're good.
The TV shot. Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Okay. You got Morgan and Skylar on the shot?
Yes.
You got their microphones up?
Yep.
Ready to go? Now, take a wild guess what Morgan, Skylar, and I were just talking about.
Tennessee.
That is incorrect. Well, I guess we're talking about the state of Tennessee.
Politics.
Mini boroughs.
What is that?
You're going to find out. Hello, Morgan. Hello, Skylar. How are y'all?
Hello.
Hey,
Y'all doing all right?
we're doing fantastic.
Yes.
Good. Good. Are you excited about Friday?
Oh, so excited. Looking forward to a great turnout.
If I were any more excited, my hair would be on fire. I'm very excited. I'm very
Wow.
excited.
Yeah.
That's how excited I am. But I'm more excited about this conversation. So, Skylar, you were just telling me that you teach people how to ride horses.
I do, yes. So
All
I
right,
teach.
tell me about that.
Yeah, so it's called the Skyview Ranch Horse Lesson Program. And so on my family farm, we have horse lessons, and people come and learn how to ride from me. I've been doing it since 2020. So it's really fun being able to share my passion with others.
Not to be ageist in any fashion, but you're not very old yourself. And you've been doing this for 5 years?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been riding horses?
I'm going to say as soon as I came back home from the hospital, my mom put me on a saddle on a horse.
Nice.
So I was on a horse since day one.
Were y'all, I asked you this question last time. Were y'all friends before you interned for Senator Mark Pody?
We didn't know each other before we, I guess, were interns, but we met at Forge, and we realized, oh my gosh, wait, we work for the same guy.
All right.
And then we've been besties ever since.
So do y'all consider yourself friends now?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Have you forged a friendship that you consider will last well beyond the internship?
Oh,
Absolutely.
yes. It'll stand through the test of time for sure.
This feels like that type of friendship.
Oh, yeah.
Because I feel like we've got an odd couple type relationship brewing here. I really do. I mean, it just look, hair color, height. No offense to anybody that's heightest, but then, but I'm going somewhere here because you were telling me, Skylar, that you've been on a horse since you were born.
Oh, yeah.
Morgan, you had a different experience when you were a young child.
Yep, unfortunately.
What happened?
So I was actually, I don't know, I was so young, but I went over to one of my old friends' I guess ranches, and there was a mini horse, or is that what they're called? Mini horses?
A pony?
A pony?
Yeah.
Like a Shetland
baby
pony?
horse.
A baby horse?
I guess. I don't know.
Oh.
It wasn't as big as all the other horses,
Okay.
but it ran past me.
Maybe
and
it was a dwarf.
Yes.
A
horse.
dwarf, yeah.
A
Ponies
dwarf
are
horse.
evil, though, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
We used to call them midgets, but we don't do that anymore. We don't call them midget horses anymore, Jackson.
It's
That's
offensive
not right.
to the pony community.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, you would hurt feelings.
how dare you hurt their feelings?
For all of you four-leggers that are listening out there in the audience, we apologize. I'm sorry that Morgan said that. Anyway, go ahead.
Anyways, so these midget horses,
It kicked you. The bottom line is the midget horse kicked you.
yeah, I kind of got side swooped. Its leg came out and hit mine.
But that would take. I mean, at
So-
an impressionable age, that would kind of, set you off your horses.
Yeah,
I guess.
it wasn't
so,
very fun.
So, are you parlaying this friendship into maybe jumping back in the saddle?
Yes.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Skylar has a mini donkey named Ernie. He's so cute. I am obsessed with him. And
Yes.
Skylar says I can come see him.
She's going to come visit, and we're going to have an Ernie party.
All right. Burros and donkeys are the same thing.
Yes.
Okay. So burros are typically, I think I got a good bead on how big a standard burro is.
Yep.
Smaller than a horse, obviously.
Yes.
Maybe like yay high
Yeah.
to the back, right? What is a mini burro? How much smaller?
Oh, goodness. He's probably, if you put a yardstick up to him, it'd probably reach the top of his ears. So he is small.
Oh, okay.
He's a small little mini donkey.
And that's full grown.
Full grown. He's done growing. We got him when we were, how old was he? He was 1 when we first got him.
How do you get yourself a mini donkey? I want one.
You know what? There's this really great thing called Facebook Marketplace. And someone sent us this ad for this donkey, and I got it, and he's actually an emotional support donkey. So he goes to nursing homes, and we take him. He wears little shoes so he doesn't slip on the pavement or the concrete.
You wear a little poop bag? Or
He does. He's actually really well trained. Not really, but we say he is.
Yeah.
We don't want to worry the nursing home people.
Well,
but,
I mean,
yeah.
but I know that horses, like in parades or whatever, they wear the little deal. You can put that on him?
We can put it on him. He doesn't like it very much, but he also
Or
wears.
you just walk behind him with a little scooper. And
Yes. Yeah, you got to be quick, too. Yeah.
Maybe you should get him Depends.
Oh.
great-
Diapers.
Yeah.
It's a great
They're
record.
Put a
adult
diaper on my
Yeah, those
emotional
are-
support donkey.
Yeah, look up Burrow Depends and see.
We'll do that.
And Jackson, if you're not already on Facebook Marketplace looking for us a mascot for the Matt Murphy Show in the form of a mini burro, you're doing it wrong.
Oh, I've already got my donkey here.
Do you now? Good for you. So you got a mini burro. You're burying the lead. I need to see this mini. I need to. Can I go with you when you go, Morgan?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, you both just grabbed your
I'll
phones.
text
because
you,
Text me
and
a
I will
photo.
let you know when we go do that.
Yes.
No, I would love it. I would absolutely love it. Mini burros. I'm all in.
Yeah, we're going to go visit Ernie after this.
Here he is with his little shoes on.
Oh, they're like little Converse sneakers.
They're actually
So
Build-A-Bear Converse.
Those are
the Build-A-Bear shoes,
That's
yeah.
so they're little Chuck Taylors. Look at them. So good. Look at Shove Jackson. Look at those Chuck Taylors, Jackson.
Wearing people shoes.
I know. Animals and people clothes. I'm a sucker for animal and people clothes. That's pretty good, actually. All right, I'm all in on that. Let's talk about before I run completely out of time.
Yes.
Let's talk about Friday. Yeah, this was like y'all's baby.
It
Right?
is, yes. We have totally put it together ourselves, trying to get the right people and the right speakers, and we're just right now inviting everyone to it. So Morgan can talk a little bit about it and about our vision.
So actually today, Skylar and I made the joke that we put all of our blood, sweat, and tears into this project. We walked around downtown Nashville with, over 100 flyers,
Over
and we were
100.
handing them out to people. We both have blisters on our feet. We are in so much pain, literally putting our blood, sweat, and tears into this project.
All right, so it's an open invitation to young conservatives to come
Yes.
and get into the State House at the Tennessee State Capitol. Just tell us about what the parameters are. When you say young conservatives, who are we talking to?
We're talking 18 to 25-year-olds. I mean, we can push it a little bit. If you're into politics or if you're not into politics, but you want to, I guess, understand and learn more, then please come. It'll be so fun.
Well,
Yeah.
and I would encourage, and tell me if I'm out of bounds here, but if you are interested or if you're engaging in politics and you think you might be leaning toward conservatism, you maybe not define. I mean, come on and just observe and listen to what has to be said, because I feel like, and y'all are closer to this than me, that a lot of young people think they're supposed to be liberal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when they're in their, late teens, early 20s. I know when I was in college, I mean, everybody around me was liberal. So you think,
Right.
well, you're supposed to be liberal. And it takes a strong mind and a certain level of will to kind of break out of that and say, no, I think a little bit differently. Morgan, I know that you felt from our last conversation, you've been conservative for a while. So how did you kind of break away from that mindset? And what would you encourage other people to do?
So my dad, he's been a really big supporter with all of this stuff. He's talked my ear off about politics at a super young age. I had no idea what any of that political stuff was when I was 10 years old, but
Yeah, sure.
I learned pretty quickly because of him what it meant to be Republican or Democrat, or the difference between conservative, liberal, all that stuff. So I also learned in my political science courses that your parents also tend to sway you towards whatever party they are. But I mean, I've done my research. I'm in school currently. I've been working for politicians for quite a while now, since I was 16, 17 years old. So I guess just learning, doing your own research is a really great way to understand what category you fall in.
And it's both of you guys are in college, and Skylar, I think we were talking last time you guys were here that it can be difficult on a college campus to find like-minded people, especially if you consider yourself conservative.
Oh, for sure. It's like every time you're walking around, you're going to have someone has to say something wrong about what you believe in. And that's why we really wanted to make this event. So the Young Conservatives Day on the Hill, it's all about bringing people who, maybe you don't know how to get involved in local or state government, or maybe you just don't understand anything about politics. This is an event you need to go to because it's all educational. It's not a political event. It's all educating our young people within our communities of this is an important thing to get a part of because it affects every single part of your life. And so we are super excited to have this event because, we know people who have felt in the dark and have felt like, oh, people are always criticizing me. Well, let's learn how we can actually, get involved and have this, and it'll be good. So it'll be this Friday. And so from 1 to 4, we're hoping the entire time people are getting that message.
Tell us about, I have the honor of being able to speak at the event, and thank you guys so much for asking me. I'm very I got a haircut for you, so there you go.
Amazing.
So tell us a little more about some other folks. Is Senator Mark Pody going to talk with us?
He will
he
be,
is.
yes.
He's going to yell, isn't he?
More than likely.
More than likely. he's gonna yell.
Likely.
If you've never heard Mark Pody speak, it is an absolute delight. The man I wish I had an ounce of his energy. It's pretty insane.
He's very passionate, and so he's super excited to speak as well.
Is he excited for you guys? He's got to be excited for you guys. He's got to be proud of you guys.
Yeah, when he came
so.
to us with this project, he was super excited for us to be able to kind of take it and run with it. So we'll see. Yeah.
Who else is going to be speaking?
I'm really excited for Beth Harwell. She was Tennessee's first female Speaker of the House, so I'm thrilled to have her. I'm so excited.
And in addition to them, Dr. Ben Graham, I guess, is going to be talking.
Yes.
He's a Trump Vance appointee as well.
He is. He was just appointed to his position, and really great message on having a faith-based leadership. So, even though you're trying to figure out and navigate politics, it's also really important to stay rooted in faith. So that's a good message.
Look at here, Morgan Harder, Skylar Baird. Are y'all going to be talking?
Maybe.
Y'all going to speak? Maybe. That'll be nice. It'll be a lot of look. This is going to be a lot of fun, and I think it's so important that young people engage and begin the process of, like you said, Morgan. I understand that parents are going to imprint on their kids, but that process of in your late teenage years into your 20s, starting to kind of develop your own ideas and figuring out what you believe in that is consistent with what your parents believe in. And maybe, some things that you might disagree a little bit with. That's not an issue. It's just finding your own way. This is a part of that.
Right. It doesn't have to be that way, though, but I tend to listen to my dad because I think he's super smart.
It's a smart answer, too.
Yeah.
Is your dad listening right now? Probably.
Maybe. Hi,
you
Dad.
should be.
I miss you.
That's awesome. All right, so where do people need to go? State Capitol?
Just show up to the state capitol, and all you gotta do is just go into the House chambers. So as you enter the front doors, the security should be able to point you in the right direction, and you'll be able to see a whole bunch of people there. And we have some tabling people that'll be there, some organizations such as Young Women for America and Americans for Prosperity. So all they need to do is just show up to the Capitol, walk in, and then go to the House chamber floor, and we will all be there, and we'll be ready to have a good event. So just show up, and it'll be good.
It will be a lot of fun. We look forward to seeing you guys. Be there, around just before 1 o'clock?
Just before 1 o'clock. We start promptly at 1, so 12:30 to 1, that's like the golden time to show up.
And we would love to see you guys there. Wonderful event. Congratulations on putting it together.
Thank you.
It should be a lot of fun, and thank you so much for asking us.
Yeah.
Of course. We're excited to have you.
There's Skylar, there's Morgan. Come see us, Young Conservatives Day on the Hill, August 8th, this Friday from 1 until 4 at the Tennessee State Capitol. Thank you, ladies.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Back in a moment on The Murphy Show, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, friends, it's Matt Murphy. Alpha and Omega is not new to the computer services industry. As a matter of fact, they've been around since 1998. A lot has changed in 27 years in the computer industry, as you might expect. A lot more online computing. Internet is so important to various systems that you might engage in a day-to-day basis in your business. Well, if that's the case, you need to protect yourself. Businesses of all stripes are attacked on a daily basis. 70% of cyber attacks happen to small businesses. Let me say that again. 70% of all cyber attacks happen to small businesses. That is a business with less than 15 or 20 employees. That probably is you, your business. Well, if you don't think you're a target, you are, and you need to protect yourself with Alpha and Omega. Allow them to handle all things computers at your business, from printers to your computing systems to your system itself to your internet service and, yes, your cyber security. They have response that's right here in Middle Tennessee, which is so invaluable in case something does go wrong. It's rare, but on those occasions, they're right here to help. 615-784-0096 or AandO.net. That's Alpha and Omega, AandO.net.
Got a special report coming up on the Fort Stewart active shooting there in Georgia. And Tennessee's governor's race is heating up. We'll tell you what happened today coming up at 4 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's mere seconds from now. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Matt Murphy. Thanks to Morgan and Skyler, young conservatives hosting an event at the Tennessee State Capitol this Friday. And I love seeing young folks get involved in the political arena. A Young Conservatives Day on the Hill happening this Friday from 1 until 4. So if you're between 17 and 25, that's right in your wheelhouse there, Jackson. I would think I'm trying to get you into the world. I'm opening the door to the world of politics for you. And all you do is slam it right back in my face. Right back in my face.
Having a radio show during the entirety of the event is slamming that door.
There's no
Murph.
excuse, is what I would say.
I'm not even with you on Friday.
Oh, that's right. Well, what the hell? What?
It'll be you and Belle Friday.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we're getting back together, me and Belle.
The band.
Yeah, getting the noon to 3 back together. So, Young Conservatives Day on the Hill has an agenda. You know, we got the official pamphlet, a welcome prayer and pledge of allegiance. I'll be talking at about 1:15. Former Speaker of the House Beth Harwell soon after me. Dr. Ben Graham, Pamela Furr, the redheaded stranger of Americans for Prosperity. State Senator Mark Pody. And then there will be a networking session a little bit later on. I'll be long gone by then because I've got a radio show to do. But looking forward to this. I love helping out the young folks, particularly those that are interested in learning more about the political arena. We will continue talking about the political arena. We'll get an update from Fort Stewart from Ken Weaver in the Super Talk 99.7 WTN newsroom. That is all to come. You're listening to Super Talk 99.7 WTN just after 4 o'clock on Super Talk.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. We've got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Mike Dubusky. The suspect in today's shooting at an Army base in Georgia has been identified as Cornelius Radford, a 28-year-old automated logistics sergeant. Authorities say he used a personal handgun, not a military weapon, in the shooting, which sent 5 other soldiers to the hospital. Those victims are in stable condition, the Army says. Brigadier General John Lubis at a press conference in the last hour.
I would also like to thank the brave soldiers who immediately intervened and subdued the shooter. These soldiers, without a doubt, prevented further casualties.
No word yet on a motive for Radford, though Lubis did say the incident played out at his place of work and involved his coworkers. Investigators are now working to determine how Radford was able to obtain a handgun and bring it onto the base, which has restrictions around personal weapons. Radford was also arrested earlier this year for driving under the influence. This is ABC News.
Right now in Tennessee, senior U.S. Senator Marsha Blackburn says she's running for governor.
We'll make Tennessee America's #1 job-creating, energy-producing powerhouse. Deliver a world-class education for our children by empowering parents, not the deep state. And whether it takes planes, trains, or starships, we'll deport illegal aliens because respect for the law starts with enforcing it.
So Blackburn becomes the 3rd Republican to announce for the governor's race, 2nd major candidate, including 6th District Congressman John Rose, who tells WTN's Chris Hanshow this changes the way he's campaigned so far.
I think it does. I mean, obviously, I've been the only major candidate in the race now for going on 5 months. And so, you know, it's hard to get people interested in thinking about an election that's 1 year away. Today's the 1-year mark. I assume probably not a coincidence.
Congressman Rose took questions from listeners on the Chris Hand Show, and a lot of those questions were about marijuana. You can hear and see it all on the WTN YouTube page under the live section. The other Republican in the race is Cito Pellegra. By the way, Senator Blackburn is join us here on WTN's Matt Murphy Show live at 5:05. And a New Mexico man heard noises in his home, and he was shocked with what he found inside.
Bear came in, I killed him.
Heard on law enforcement body-worn camera, the man living near Hermit Peak, New Mexico, northeast of Albuquerque, said he was asleep in his home and heard noises at around 11 at night. He grabbed his rifle and found a black bear in his home going through his stuff. The bear ripped apart his kitchen.
Tore the door off my cabinet.
He shot the bear. The Game and Fish Department says the man had every right to defend himself.
We are not going to charge anybody in those situations.
The man was uninjured. The bear is dead. Alex Stone, EBC News.
That's the latest news, traffic, and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Got a crash off on the right shoulder, 24 eastbound at Murfreesboro Pike. Then in Williamson County, got a crash reported 840 westbound before Carter's Creek Pike. And Talbot's Corner, 65 southbound at I-24 downtown. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
All right, here we go. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. It's hour number 2, 8 minutes after 4 o'clock. We thank you for your participation in the show, either passively listening on 99.7 FM. You can also find us on a variety of platforms such as applications, Spotify, TuneIn, iHeart. We have our own. You go over to your app store, you type in Super Talk 99.7 WTN. You can take us wherever you go. Then there's, of course, the television side of things. For you masochists in the listening audience, I've not availed myself of the YouTube chat just yet, but I'm sure it is a robust free-for-all. Go to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, or Rumble. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, or Rumble, And you can find us over there, and we appreciate your participation. Give us a hello, a thumbs up, a subscribe, or whatever you do. Ken Weaver's back in the newsroom. He's in News Closet B, we like to call it, gathering headlines, updating us on this Fort Stewart situation. There's Jackson Williams. He's behind the glass, screening your telephone calls and, generally speaking, making sure that everything that comes out of our speakers sounds as good as humanly possible. Then there's me, your young correspondent, Matt Murphy.
Young?
Hello. Yeah, young's a relative term, sure. I mean, there's some 100-year-olds out there, man.
Yeah, there's also some fossils.
Yeah. I mean, I'm young to them. I'm young to the fossil set. You know? I'm not so old to Ken Weaver.
That's right.
Ken Weaver's not so old to me.
I'm the oldest one in this room.
Uh-huh. Now you want to continue to cast your aspersions, Jackson?
32 years old.
Yikes. That's old, Jackson.
Can't believe my beard's already white.
I love that Jackson, you know what Jackson was doing a minute ago, Ken?
What's that?
He was talking about the youngsters that we just had in. Called them youngsters. Those, young folk.
Whippersnappers.
Yeah, that's right. Wet behind the ears, weren't they, Jackson? It's wet behind the ears. Thank you to Morgan and Skylar for stopping by, and thanks for them conducting this event.
I want one of those little donkeys they were talking about.
Man, mini burros. How about that? Little miniature, burros.
I'm telling you, man, I love those little horses, little donkeys, and little cows.
I failed in my questioning because I meant to ask Skylar, who has the mini donkey, if the mini donkeys react to dogs the same way. Because, burros or donkeys don't get along with dogs.
No. In fact, they kill canines.
Yeah, they look at them as predators.
As coyotes,
right,
yes.
Right, and they do not get along with them. And I'm told that if you bring them up from babies with dogs, that you can associate them with the dogs, and they'll get along with them a little bit better. But I was going to ask if maybe the aspect of being a mini burro, I don't know if that would change anything. But, because you know me, I love my dogs, and any mini burro in the house is going to have to get along with my dogs.
That's right. Yeah, a little Munson and Miss Beasley, especially with Miss Beasley.
Miss Beasley. Oh.
I mean, she'll give a look.
Oh, no, she'll give you the side eye. Woo. Queen of the side eye, Ken.
Yes, sir.
And Ms. Beasley, if you stop petting her, for a second, she'll give you the old, what are you doing? what is happening? You're not paying complete and total attention to me. And then she tries to cover your breathing holes. She does. She'll try to cover your breathing holes, put you right to sleep. All right. I'm very curious and we've done this in the past, but I think it's a good enough day to do it. We've got Marsha Blackburn coming on the show at 5:05 or thereabouts this afternoon to talk about her run for governor for the state of Tennessee. Now, we're going to ask her when she made the decision that she felt it was important to throw her hat in the ring. At what point did she begin considering it? And, if she had an inkling that this was going to be potentially on the horizon when she ran for senator. One of the things that I'm hearing is, well, wait a minute, you just ran for senator in 2024, and now you've decided less than a year later to run for governor in 2026. What caused the change of heart? Do you feel like you've accomplished everything in Washington, D.C. you can accomplish? And what more do you think you can do as the quote-unquote head of state in the state of Tennessee? We will ask those questions. If you have any question whatsoever for Marsha Blackburn, get them in on the super text line, 615-737-9986. And also, you can throw them to me on my X Machine page, at Matt Murphy Show. That's at Matt Murphy Show. And we will ask any and all questions as time allows. We have Senator Blackburn on for 12 or so minutes, maybe a little bit longer for this Q&A. I believe that with her announcement today and with the announcement of John Rose some months ago, this is for the state of Tennessee, the beginning of a conversation. This is not the end of a conversation, but the beginning of a conversation. And I hope that we have many conversations moving down the road regarding her candidacy and why she believes she is the best for office. I hear a lot of people, particularly those of you, and I brought this up in the first hour, and I want to talk further about it, because I hear this. I'm just letting you know the way that it is. Anytime we talk with or talk about Senator Blackburn, there is a minority in the general population that believe that Marsha is establishment or she's not a real or true conservative. And I'm interested where that comes from. Several of you have said that it comes from a lack of support post January 6th. And I'm curious to explore that. Maybe some of you believe that she has perhaps served too long. She's only won in the state of Tennessee when she's run. So you cannot deny that she clearly has a level of support that puts her in a front-runner status immediately after announcing that she's running for governor. But what say you about it? Is that Raina? Is that right? Raina is online too. Raina, you have a question or a thought about Senator Marsha Blackburn running for governor? Hello, Raina.
Hello?
Hey.
Yes.
Hi, you're on with Matt Murphy. Is this Raina?
It is, yes. So we have sent Marsha a question through emails and different things, and we've never gotten a response when she made the commitment to not certify the election because we already had so much evidence of fraud. We would like to know why she changed her mind and voted to certify it.
So you want to, all right, I've got it. Why? And she had, at some point back then, this was a little bit before my time, but correct me if I'm wrong, but at some point back then, she had said that she would not be voting to certify, and she decided to vote to certify?
Correct.
Sure. Yeah, I will. I'll ask the question, Raina.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Happy to do so. 615-737-9986. There seem to be a good amount of questions coming up about the January 6th, and perhaps this is a result of some of the comments that John Rose, if you missed it, John Rose was on with our man Chris Hand earlier today and had a few things to say about Marsha's candidacy. Said he was a little bit, not shocked, but surprised that she decided to throw her hat in the ring, considering that she just ran for U.S. Senate last year, and then went on to say that, look, he was in support of those states that did not want to vote to certify electors in those individual states because there were significant questions about how the vote was handled, and that Marsha voted to certify. So that perhaps is something that distinguishes him and Marsha Blackburn. Many of you offering questions and comments to the senator and for the senator on the super text line. How does she go being against an anti-establishment conservative when she took money from Turtle McConnell and always supported him for majority and minority? I don't think she supported him this time around. Well, I guess he was out. Was she John Thune? I can't remember. Cannot remember. 0930, she's a career politician. Going to use a governorship to step up for a presidential run. The whole thing's been nothing but a political job for her, as it is for most career politicians. Make money on the sly and stay in power, which equals money. I want to know her stance on THC and TCHA in Tennessee. I will vote for whoever's going to push to keep it as it is or completely legalize it. I think a lot of the THC products have been removed, right, from Tennessee shelves, or at least they're going to be by the end of the year. I think the General Assembly voted on that, if I'm not mistaken. Matt, I want to know if Marsha can sing Rocky Top. I don't know, but I know I can. Well, she's running for governor, and we'll have her on coming up in the 5 o'clock hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Let me give you a few details as we know them regarding this Fort Stewart situation. 5 wounded soldiers are in stable condition, and a suspect is in custody, as said suspect opened fire on those 5 individuals, or at least opened fire on individuals, hitting 5. The suspect has been identified as a 28-year-old, a U.S. Army active duty automated logistics sergeant from Jacksonville, Florida, who was assigned to the Fort Stewart installation. Army officials are saying that the 28-year-old man by the name of Cornelius Radford, allegedly used a personal handgun in the shooting, was tackled by other soldiers before being taken into custody. He had not deployed to combat. The Army said Radford did not have any prior disciplinary or behavioral issues. Court records show he was arrested in Liberty County on May 18th and charged with driving under the influence and failure to obey traffic control devices. Army officials said the charges were unknown to Radford's chain of command. He's currently being interviewed by Army investigators and being held in a pretrial confinement. There's been no motive released in the situation. This happening at about 10:56 Eastern Time, 9:56 Middle Tennessee time. Once again in Fort Stewart, Georgia, which is just outside of Savannah, Georgia. President Donald Trump has been briefed on the incident. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt wrote on social media. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem have also been briefed on the situation. It looks like the situation after an initial lockdown, after the shooting was reported, they lifted the lockdown in the main area about 12:10 local time. That would have been just after 11 o'clock our time. 3 out of the 5 soldiers required surgery, but all are in stable condition and expected to recover. All are in stable condition and expected to recover. We'll continue to give you updates as they become available. Take your telephone calls on the governor's race. Who you got? And what are you waiting on? You don't have to have anybody. And I'm encouraging folks, you don't have to make a selection right now. Listen to the candidates. Allow the candidates to come out. Allow the people to speak and only make a selection. The biggest currency that you have in all of this is your vote, your selection. And you don't have to vote until, well, next year at this time. And I would hold on to that vote. Listen to Marsha Blackburn. Listen to John Rose. Listen to any other candidate that nominates or becomes a nominee, and then speak. It's 420 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. If you are tired of health insurance that feels like a math test, friends, I am here for you, and I'm here to tell you about Cover Nash and my man Shane Ring. Really, Shane Ring is here for you because Shane understands that it can get frustrating when you don't understand some of these things, and they're almost designed that way. Well, Shane is your local concierge, your local expert in the insurance industry, and he works for you. He does not work for an insurance company. And working for you, he's going to find the right insurance for you. And that might differ from customer to customer, but Shane will do his due diligence and make sure that he's offering you the right recommendations every single time. They do have a new nationwide PPO plan that gives you the freedom to choose your doctors anywhere in the United States of America that have deductibles as low as $250. And you heard me correctly, $250 deductibles with a flat copay after the deductible for just $50 for any office visit to a doctor, even specialists. Ask them about it when you make the call to your local concierge when it comes to health insurance. That's Shane Ring and Cover Nash. Go to covernash.com for more information, or better yet, set up an appointment. You can go right to the office in Brentwood, 615-465-0023, 465-0023 for Cover Nash.
We'll give you an update on the status of those 5 soldiers injured in the active shooting at Fort Stewart in Georgia today, and other top stories at 4:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Jumping on the phones here in just a moment. Super Talk 99.7 phone lines up and running. 615-737-9986. The big political news of the day, as expected, Senator Marsha Blackburn is running for governor for the state of Tennessee. Obviously, Bill Lee has now, well, he's in his second term, his last 18 months or so of his second term. He cannot run again, his term limited. And with that in mind, the Republican field lining up. Already we have John Rose, who has decided to throw his hat in the ring. That was some months ago. Cito Pellegra, whom we've not spoken with, but we will. And now Senator Marsha Blackburn. One of the things, and I understand that every race is different, every political candidate is different. And, you know, I had to get my sea legs underneath me when I first came to Tennessee, and I tried to do that. I tried to get a base of understanding and a base of knowledge before formulating an opinion. But my ability to have that firm footing of understanding really started in December of 2021 when I first came to Tennessee. Now, I can go back and do research, but it's hard to understand. I mean, y'all understand how it goes. It's hard to know what was really truly going on the ground level. You can read news reports about it, but you can't really get a feel for it. What I'm learning from Marsha Blackburn detractors today is that they have still not forgiven her for her vote to certify the elections in 2020. And secondarily, it's just of note to me that for someone that has been as politically successful as Marsha Blackburn has been, I don't think there's any question she's politically successful, whether running for state representative or House of Representatives or U.S. Senate. The feedback that I'm getting right now is almost, and look, I'm not judging it. I'm just telling y'all the news, as my good friend Ken Weaver would say. It's almost universally negative. Like, we get probably, I don't know, 10 to 15 super text every few minutes. And I don't know that I've gotten one that's pro Marsha Blackburn. And I'm wondering if that is just, you know, the minority voices are going to be the louder voices or what? I mean, is there anybody out there that likes Marsha that's planning on voting for her? I'm not suggesting that this is reflective of the overall state of Tennessee. Frankly, I would suggest to you that Marsha is not just the front runner. She is the strong front runner to be the next governor of this state. And I would suggest to you that even John Rose knows that. John Rose knows that John Rose has work to do to get his name out there to the state of Tennessee. I think he knows that. So it's just, it's odd to me. It's interesting, and not even odd, just interesting to me that the numbers indicate, I mean, the elections that she's won, she's not won by a razor-thin margin. She has won handily these elections. Yet when I ask opinion about Marsha Blackburn on the super text line, it's almost universally negative. And I'm just fascinated by that, how that is. Tom, you got any ideas?
Matt, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, Tom. I can hear you fine.
Long time listener, brother. First time caller.
I'm glad you're here.
I'm so happy that we're glad you're here in Nashville, Mr. Matt. Look, I've got a big problem with John Rose, and here it is. I'll tell you flatly. My issue with John Rose is I've got 3 little girls who go to school in Wilson County, Matt, and it eats me alive to no end when I think about this. And this is a fact, right? Like, anybody can look this up and they can know that this is a fact. John Rose groomed a 17-year-old girl. It's just a fact. Now, you know, he was 40 years old when he met his wife. she was 17. He met her while she was in school. I just viewed John Rose as our own Jeffrey Epstein here in Nashville. And, you know, no one seems to have the courage, aside from the Democrats, to actually call the guy out on it. And it's just, it bothers me, Matt. It bothers me that, you know, we have these problems in our own Republican Party. And, you know, you got a guy who's in his 40s, and he went to a high school and met this young little girl and started grooming her. It's just, it disgusts me. I've got 3 girls in high school in Wilson County, you know, spread apart, of course, but, you know, they're there in Wilson County, and he's my congressman. And I don't ever want that man anywhere near my children, or especially as my governor. And that's all I've got, Matt. I hope one day, I hope you get him on here and you'll ask him that, and he'll actually answer to that.
Tom, thank you for the call. We will have John Rose. We've had him on in the past. We'll have him on again. And you certainly have made your voice heard. It is time for the news on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. Several soldiers injured in that active shooting at Fort Stewart in Georgia this morning. Here's ABC's Mike Dubusky, who says the shooter's in custody, identified as 28-year-old male Army Sergeant Cornelius Radford.
Authorities say he used a personal handgun, not a military weapon, in the shooting, which sent 5 other soldiers to the hospital. Those victims are in stable condition, the Army says. Brigadier General John Lubis at a press conference in the last hour.
I would also like to thank the brave soldiers who immediately intervened and subdued the shooter. These soldiers, without a doubt, prevented further casualties.
No word yet on a motive for Radford, though Lubis did say the incident played out at his place of work and involved his coworkers.
Right now in Tennessee.
I'm Marsha Blackburn. Here in the volunteer state, we always lead the way. And that's why I am announcing my candidacy for governor.
Senator Blackburn makes it the 3rd Republican to announce for the governor's race and a 2nd major candidate, including 6th the District Congressman John Rose, who told WTN's Chris Hanshow this morning Blackburn's announcement changes the way he's campaigned up to this point.
You know, when you're visiting with people and the race is that far out, it's kind of hard to get them ginned up thinking about it. So now I think with perhaps the field being set, there could be others, I suppose, but I think it's safe to say this might be most of the field, if not all the field. So I think Tennesseans will now start to zero in on trying to make the decision about who they want to hire to be the chief executive officer of Tennessee.
The other Republican in the race is Cito Pellegra. By the way, Senator Blackburn joins WTN's Matt Murphy Show live at 5:05. That's coming up in just about 37 minutes. Fewer American adults are achieving 4 traditional adult milestones: moving out of their parents' home, getting a job, getting married, and having kids.
Compared with nearly half in 1975, 21st century Census Bureau data shows that less than a quarter of U.S. adults, 25 to 34, had achieved those 4 milestones. Possible factors cited in the census report are higher education levels, more women in the workplace, and higher living costs, leading young adults to prioritize economic security over starting a family.
That's Chuck Severson reporting on the latest news, traffic, and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, the crashes starting to pile up right now on the East Bank. We've got an accident reported by police, going to be 24 eastbound right before James Robertson Parkway. Over in the Gulch, police on the scene of a crash 40 eastbound at Broad. And in Berry Hill, we got a crash reported 440 eastbound before I-65. In Williamson County, TDOT says there are 3 vehicles who apparently collided with a semi. There are injuries involved. 840 westbound before Carters Creek Pike Highway 246 exit 23. And then in Antioch, police reporting a crash 24 eastbound at Hickory Hollow Parkway. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy, and I love going to the best in the business at anything that, well, let's put it this way. I love going to a business that's better than anybody else in their field at what they do. That's what I'm trying to say. And Genesis Diamonds, they're the best in their business at what they do, and that is finding the right diamonds, bringing them to their showrooms, either in Green Hills or Cool Springs, presenting them to their customers, and delivering every single time the absolute best with no compromises. It is truly a no-brainer that Genesis is the source here for a ring that you can be proud of, whether you're getting married soon or have been together for decades and you want to get that special something for an anniversary or birthday, whether it's ovals, rounds, princess cuts, emerald cuts, heart-shaped, pear-shaped, cushion cuts, from 1/2 carat to 20 carats. And to properly showcase these exquisite diamonds, Genesis has the designer settings that other stores simply do not have. The experts at Genesis are passionate about diamonds, but they're never going to try to sell you something because they don't do that. They're on no commission. That means they're there to help you find the right one for you, not to sell you something that you're not looking for. That's what it's all about at Genesis Diamonds. That's why they have that laid-back atmosphere, that can-do attitude. Green Hills and Cool Springs. Tell them Matt Murphy sent you to the one and only Genesis Diamonds. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy for U.S. Pest. Okay, so you drive around town. Yeah, I mean, we all drive around town to a certain degree. If you see a U.S. Pest, a billboard out and about in the in nature, you'll notice that on almost every single one of them, and I would dare say every single one of them, I think J.K. and Erica have told me this, they have an American flag on that billboard. Now, that costs money to put an American flag there, but they insist on it. Why? Because they believe in the United States of America. They love this country. They love the way that we do our business in this country. They love doing business in this country, and they want you to know that. They love America at U.S. Pest. You know what they hate, though? They hate bugs. All things bugs and roaches and creepy crawlies and spiders and stink bugs and ants and ladybugs and fleas and ticks and, of course, termites. They offer a full-service pest control, termite protection for you, 100% money-back guaranteed at U.S. Pest. Monthly service is crucial, and U.S. Pest wants to be that company that delivers month in and month out. Give them a call. Make the switch to U.S. Pest, 590-1260. That's 590-1260, or go online to uspest.com. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. 20 minutes until 5 o'clock. Super Talk 99.7. We love having you with us. Thank you for your time and consideration. We appreciate you. There are other matters going on beyond the gubernatorial election, but it's been a pretty big day considering that Marsha Blackburn has announced that she is running for Tennessee governor. A lot of you offering your thoughts on her run for governor. As she made the announcement earlier today, senior senator living in Brentwood said that she's in the 2026 race a full year out from the primary to replace Governor Bill Lee. In her announcement, she shared priorities to, quote, make Tennessee America's #1 job-creating, energy-producing powerhouse, to deliver a world-class education for our children by empowering parents, and to deport illegal aliens. She has obviously already received numerous endorsements from around the state, including Knox County Mayor Glenn Jacobs, and U.S. Representative Chuck Fleischmann. Americans for Prosperity is mobilizing a knock on 200,000 doors to share, quote, how Marsha Blackburn led the way in the U.S. Senate to secure major wins for President Donald Trump and Tennessee taxpayers. Obviously, she is the first female to represent Tennessee in the United States Senate, would be the first female to represent Tennessee as its governor. Clearly, these are things that matter to some, maybe not so much to others. Interested in your thoughts on all of this. Heather writes in and says she would never vote for John Rose. Lost her vote. He was very condescending, she said. I don't care if he's against legalizing marijuana. I feel like it should be legal. But when Chris asked him if a bill would pass and it came to his desk if he would sign it, he said no. And that really made me mad. It made me feel like he doesn't care what his constituents want. He only cares about his opinion. Heather finishes up and says, I wouldn't vote for him again if he was the only one on the ticket. Mike writes in and says, after hearing John Rose on Chris Hand's show, I wholeheartedly endorse Marsha Blackburn. That's Mike J. So several saying that, well, and then there are other opinions. 5637 says, I have to hold my nose every time it came to vote for senator and Blackburn was running. More important to keep the seat. But after Jan 6th, Blackburn should have primaried out of her seat. And then he says, don't forget Elvis groomed Priscilla when she was 15. Just saying. That's probably not as good of a defense as I think you think it is. Because I don't think that was good. Look, as far as that goes, I've met John and his lovely bride. They seem to be very happy together. They have 2 children together. I understand that their age difference bothers some people. That, to me, is a matter of, no one is accusing anybody of doing anything out of bounds with regard to that. It can be unseemly to you. And look, all of these things are going to impact the vote, right? All of these things are going to affect your opinion on people. The manner in which Marsha Blackburn comported herself after January 6th has obviously bothered a lot of people. The fact that Marsha has been involved in politics for the length of time that she's been involved in politics, that obviously bothers a lot of people. I've heard from a lot of you that seem to be bothered by her quote-unquote career status as a politician. Similarly, some others are saying, that these matters of a personal nature are bothersome to you in as much as they've come to public light when it comes to John Rose. I will leave it to each of you individually to determine if these are factors that would influence ultimately your vote. But I don't think that it's necessarily a defense. Jerry Lee Lewis married his 13-year-old cousin. So there. I don't know that that's the defense that necessarily they're looking for there. And that's, by the way, there's no suggestion of that. Once again, that is an issue that will come up in this political campaign, and it is not for me to answer. It is for Congressman John Rose to speak to. And once again, I will say that the day that he made it as an announcement, he and his wife were in studio with me, and they've been married for a long time. They have 2 lovely children together, and they seem to be a very happy and loving couple. And yeah, there's an age gap. There's an age difference between the 2. But at the same time, once again, that is a decades-old story. But I'm not saying it shouldn't impact your decision-making on part of the vote. Brandy writes in and says, with Marsha, I've learned today, besides folding under pressure with J6, she also folded under pressure before. Not a good track record when promises are broken on such serious matters. And then Brandy continues, bleeps getting deep, Matt. Grab your boots. Look, I can tell you this. You better be ready to swim when you get into the deep waters. And it's one thing to run for county commission. I'll tell you, I've noticed over the years that I've been doing this, it's one thing to run for mayor. Good luck to you. It's one thing to run for your state general assembly. Have at it. But when you begin to get into the deep waters, the long knives get all the longer. The slings and arrows come at you from all corners of the political landscape. And I would think that those that are willing to ask for the vote of the public are also willing, as they put themselves up to public service, to suffer those slings and arrows and answer those questions that are important to the general population. 4882 says, hot take, any conservative Republican candidate that's willing to legalize marijuana or at least decriminalize marijuana in some shape, form, or fashion will unseat anyone, even Marsha. I'll give you my hot take on this. I'm a libertarian and have been a libertarian for a long time. I do not belong to the Libertarian Party, but I believe in the libertarian philosophy of government. What does that mean? That means leave me the hell alone. I'm good. That's what that means. The government should serve only when absolutely necessary. And government serves best when it serves least and only when necessary. And for the most part, the free market and the people themselves can work it out. That government should be there as a condition of last resort to work out these matters of dispute, or to set up basic rules of the road in terms of how we are going to comport ourselves in civilized society. Otherwise, just leave me the hell alone, and I'll take care of it for myself. Thank you very much. I've never considered myself a conservative or a Republican because I'm not. And part of the reason that I'm not a conservative or a Republican is I do not believe that it is up to any political party to tell me, a human being, what I can or cannot put in my body and consume in my body. I do not believe that that is a function of government. Now, I do believe that there's a role in the church and in our community-based systems and in our civilized society to try to direct ourselves in a certain way, because society is going to function better when we're not, putting drugs and whatnot in our bodies. I find it amazing that the same individuals that can tell you that marijuana should and will be illegal are the same ones that take so much money from the damn pharmaceutical companies. I mean, I just find it fascinating that the same ones that dictate to you based on what they tell you is a negative for society. Oh, we don't need all them dopers. They don't get held to account when the oxy crisis happens. They don't get held to account now that the fentanyl crisis is upon us, which is a direct result of the oxy crisis that happened 10, 15 years ago. So, no, I understand that some will have to answer that as well. I believe in a system of government that allows me. Who owns you? Who owns you? Jackson? Who owns you? Have you ever thought about it?
Not really.
You know who owns you, Jackson?
Who?
You. You own you. Now, a lot of that is dictated by your faith-based beliefs, because many people would say, well, I serve my Lord and Savior. And that is, from a faith-based perspective, that is a great answer. It's a wonderful answer. But should government get in between you and your Lord and Savior? If that is your answer, of course not. Of course not. You own you. Why in the world would I hand the government the right to dictate my life's path if I own me? The government doesn't own me. Now, my ownership of me comes with consequences and responsibilities. And my rights tend to end when other rights begin, particularly if I'm stepping on other rights during the exercise of my own. And that's where government comes in. to manage that sort of thing, to make sure that I, in advance of my personal liberties or my personal rights, I'm not trampling on the rights of others, that we have equality when it comes to those sorts of things. That's where the government comes in. Sadly, far too often, the government thinks it's in its purview or its sphere of responsibility that they decide what you can and cannot do in the privacy of your own home, or what you can and cannot do in terms of your own personal liberties, rights, or the direction of your life. Yes, libertarians, particularly the answer to your question 5666. Don't libertarians believe that if you want to use drugs, you can, i.e. fentanyl crisis? Yes, libertarians believe that. That doesn't mean that the manufacture of drugs made in a laboratory should necessarily be legal. 5666. That is you're asking two different questions, whether you know it or not. You're asking, should the manufacture of drugs be legal in the United States of America versus the consumption of certain drugs be legal in the United States of America? And there's a difference. It's a different question. From a consumption-based perspective, you're exactly right, at least from my perspective. But I don't consider myself a big L libertarian, so I don't speak for the Libertarian Party. It's 52 after the hour. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello, boys and girls, friends and neighbors, children of all ages. Let's talk for a moment about Grace Point Healthcare, because all of you, from the youngest to the eldest, you need to get to Grace Point Healthcare and see the way that they do their business. They do it a little bit differently than anyone else. You know, they treat the whole body with a comprehensive medical approach, getting to the root of the problem and not just treating the symptoms. They also have a different way of doing business when it comes to the checkout and the processing point, because they're a direct pay system. In other words, you pay Grace Point, then you can file to your insurance for reimbursement. But in that direct pay format, you know exactly what your medical care is costing you. You can't say the same thing for these insurance-based medical practices. You simply can't, because you don't know how much they're charging. You don't know how much you're paying. All you know is about your copay. You do not wait in long lines at Grace Point Healthcare. They don't believe in it. There's no long wait times in the waiting room. Grace Point is your primary provider that treats the entire family from newborns to seniors, and they can see you same day or next day. That's what it's all about at Grace Point Healthcare. I encourage you to give them a call. Talk to them about their Smart Care plan, which can now be paid for by your HSA. When you make the call to 599-6868, that's 599-6868 in the heart of Franklin, tell them Matt Murphy sent you to the one and only Grace Point Healthcare. Hello, friends. My name is Matt Murphy, and this is an advertisement for Defend Systems. But here's the deal. I'm an endorser, but I'm a true believer when it comes to what Brink Fiddler and his team do at Defend Systems. They are a life safety and security consultation firm based right here in Middle Tennessee. What does that mean? It means simply that in your place of business, in your school, in your church, where people gather, the world's a dangerous place, y'all. And you never know when something bad's going to happen. Now, odds are it will never happen to you. Odds are you'll never have an active shooter. God forbid you should ever have to deal with that. Odds are you'll never have a workplace violence situation, a security breach, or have to deal with rapid response medical or training in that arena. But the possibility of it happening is not zero. That means hope's not a plan. It's time to get trained with the best. We have them right here in Middle Tennessee. His name's Brink Fiddler, and his company is Defend Systems. Go to defendsystems.com, defendsystems.com, or reach out today by phone, 615-236-6484, 236-6484 for our good friends at Defend Systems.
Five o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. And right now in Tennessee, Channel 4 says several people were injured in a crash involving a school bus in Sumner County this afternoon. Sumner County EMS says it and the Highway Patrol responded to the crash around 2:53 involving the bus and another vehicle. It was 109 Longview Road in Portland. 4 patients were taken to local hospitals. President Trump commenting on today's active shooting at Fort Stewart in Georgia. He says the entire nation's praying for the victims and their families.
The shooter is now in custody, and the Army Criminal Investigation Division is on site to ensure that the perpetrator of this atrocity, which is exactly what it is, will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
5 soldiers injured. All are expected to fully recover. Officials say 28-year-old Army Sergeant Cornelius Radford allegedly used his own weapon in the shooting. Personal weapons not allowed on the base. No word on the motive. President Trump was alongside Apple CEO Tim Cook at the White House this afternoon.
Today, Apple is announcing that it will invest $600 billion, that's with a B, in the United States over the next 4 years. That's $100 billion more than they were originally going to invest.
Tim Cook.
Mr. President, thank you very much for having me here today. You've been a great advocate for American innovation and manufacturing, and I'm grateful for your leadership and your commitment.
Earlier this year, Trump threatened to impose 25% tariffs on imported smartphones, including iPhones, unless the makers relocate their plants to the U.S. It's official. Senior Tennessee U.S. Senator Marsha Blackburn announcing she will seek the governor's seat.
We always lead the way, and that's why I am announcing my candidacy for governor. Tennessee is the greatest place in the world to rear a family.
Now, the other major Republican candidate in the race is 6th District Congressman John Rose, who tells WTN's Chris Hanshaw he thought that Blackburn would finish out another 6-year term, which Tennesseans gave her.
A little surprised, not shocked. Frankly, she's been saying she was thinking about it, and her team has been out working. Probably the most active re-election campaign for the Senate 6 years out that I've seen. And so, sending signals that they might be really serious about this.
Congressman Rose took questions from listeners on the Chris Hanshaw. Lots of questions about marijuana. You can hear and see it all on the WTN YouTube page under the live section. The other Republican in the governor's race is Cito Pellegra. By the way, Senator Blackburn joins WTN's Matt Murphy live here in just about 2 minutes. That's the latest news, traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, drivers, got the usual slowdowns, especially around the loop downtown, particularly heavy eastbound of 440 between 65 and 24. I mean, that is stop and go over there. Number of crashes that we're looking at over on the East Bank going eastbound before James Robertson Parkway. Got one 40 eastbound in the Gulch. That's exit 209B. Then in Berry Hill, got a crash 440 eastbound right before 65. In Wilson County, Mount Juliet Highway Patrol reporting a crash 40 eastbound at the Wilson-Davidson County line. Also in Lebanon, I-40 eastbound before Highway 109. And in Williamson County, got a crash on the right shoulder, 840 westbound before Carter's Creek Pike. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Here we go, just past halftime on the Matt Murphy Radio Show. Man, oh man, did you guys look outside moments ago? Did you see this outside, Ken Weaver?
What?
Wait, no, Ken. Oh, that's a sore subject. I apologize, Ken Weaver.
Yeah, I don't have a window. All I've got is just a wall around me.
I
You got a window, Ken.
Halfway through that question, I just realized that poor Ken Weaver, he's got a window into the control area, which then has a window outside. But Ken Weaver does not have a. It's why we say that Ken Weaver's in News Closet B, because he does not have a window to the out of door. Hey, Ken.
Yes, sir.
It's raining.
Is it?
Yeah, there's a little pop-up rain shower came about.
That might be why my traffic map looks so angry.
Maybe so. Maybe so. A lot of traffic going on in downtown Nashville. Y'all be careful out there. It'll be there when you get there. Be safe and be warned. Might be some raindrops on the windshields. Okay, Matt Murphy with you. Cameron Smith in his normal place, in position on these Wednesdays. We appreciate Cameron being here. Hello, Cameron. Howdy. Hello, Cameron.
Howdy.
There you go. And there on the Murphy Show hotline is Senator Marsha Blackburn, who made the big announcement earlier today that she has thrown her proverbial hat in the ring to become the next governor of the state of Alabama. And we are pleased to welcome Senator Blackburn on the Matt Murphy Show this afternoon on Super Talk. Senator Blackburn, good afternoon. Congratulations.
Well, thank you so much, and I'm delighted to join you. It has been a big day.
I'm sure it has. We've got many, many questions, and I know that we'll have plenty of opportunities. I look at this as the beginning of this conversation about your role potentially as governor, not, the end of anything. So just the beginning. So I don't expect that we'll get all of our questions out today in the time that we have, but hopefully we'll get a few of them. And the biggest question on my lips, why did you decide now? I mean, just after running for re-election for United States Senate, you've obviously been thinking about this for a certain amount of time. Talk to us about your thought process and why you've made the decision to run as governor.
Yes, indeed. And as you know, I have worked so closely with President Trump. There's no one that has worked more closely with him than me to pass his agenda. And he is sending power, authority, control back to the states when it comes to education and energy and health care. And there's going to be an opportunity to innovate and to work on regulations and how benefits are administered. And because of that, that is going to be a great opportunity to reset how our state government works. Now, Matt, the last time we did a reset in Tennessee was after I led that fight to defeat that proposed state income tax. And we did that, and then we reset everything in our state. We reduced spending, we skinnied up the bureaucracy, and we became an economic powerhouse. And we should continue that. And just as we did that reset in the early 2000s, with President Trump doing his great job, sending all of this back to the states, it is going to be an opportunity to grab that and then innovate. Think of what great innovation we do when it comes to energy and to health care, when it comes to how you educate children. The U.S. Department of Education is going to go away, and that will be coming back, and I am so excited about leading our state through this transition and achieving what we have wanted for so long, is to get power out of Washington, D.C. and back to your local and state governments. And I fully believe that Tennessee can be America's conservative leader.
Senator Marsha Blackburn, senator from the great state of Tennessee. Unlike, I botched the intro, Senator, and somehow Alabama was on my mind. I tried to demote you to governor of Alabama as opposed to governor of Tennessee. I apologize, and thank you for not pointing that out. But so I duly noted to everyone that has noted that I screwed that up. I screwed that up, and I apologize.
Well,
I don't know where.
Shame on you.
Shame on me, and I apologize. What is the?
That's going to be Tommy Tuberville. You can go do it.
That's what everybody tells me. That's what everybody tells me. He's running, and you're running in the great state of Tennessee. What are you proudest of as a U.S. senator that you've gotten accomplished, and what, if anything, do you look back on and wish you had done differently?
When you talk about things that we have done, there's no one that's done more for the people of Tennessee than we have. And solving problems for the people, our case workers who work it out every single day when it comes to cases and issues that people are having. You look at the work I did on the big, beautiful bill, and we were able to remove that income tax burden from our nation's seniors by giving them a $6,000 bonus deduction every single year. Every senior gets that. when you look at the work that I have done, I've been a leader in protecting our children and putting regulations and things in place that are going to help protect our children. The Report Act that I was able to do, leading this fight, finding those illegal alien, those children that have come into this country and have been lost. And all of those are things that you achieve and you do on behalf of the people of Tennessee. They're things that they have wanted to see done.
Senator, as I previewed your appearance today after you made the announcement that you're running for governor of Tennessee, that I asked the listening audience to throw questions out at me about your history. I mean, you're well known to most of the voters in this state as a United States Senator, as a House of Representatives member, as a member of the General Assembly. And more than anything, people asked me to ask you to reflect on January 6th. People that have concerns for whatever reason, and I don't know why, have concerns about the vote to certify the election and the aftermath of that. And I understand that it's 5 years ago, but enough people have asked me to ask you. I feel compelled to do so on their part. Speak to that if you don't mind.
Sure. And January 6th was that ceremonial vote. And basically, that process was over at that point. We went in, we signed papers to object, and then you had the issues of the day. I think we all trust President Trump and how he moved forward with the pardons from individuals that were involved in that day. That's his right. That was a decision he made. That is something that you support.
We have Cameron Smith with us, who writes for the Tennessean. I think you're familiar with Cameron and his work, and he's got a question for you, Senator.
Sure. Senator, you've done a great job for advocating for constituencies that are important to Tennessee, like the music industry, for example. One of the least conservative things that I've seen as a foster parent is the state is the parent to thousands of kids in the state of Tennessee, and they don't really have a great advocate because there's, let's be honest, not money to be made in that space. As the chief executive of the state, what changes would you like to see at DCS? How do we get more of our communities involved, taking care of these kids so that it's Tennesseans raising them and not the state of Tennessee?
That is something that I've had the opportunity to do a little bit of work on. And John Ossoff out of Georgia and I had worked on some things dealing with these DCS departments. Now, one thing I found out by working with our commissioner on DCS is that you've got about 15 counties in the state that have the vast majority of children that are in DCS care or in the foster program. And Cameron, I think one of the things we should do is let's pick a county and let's start a pilot project to see how we do things differently.
Amen.
To put this child, let's think about this child. And then I've talked with some of the state legislators about this. And where should we make a change on this? I don't know all the answers to this, but what I do know is that we have defined the problem. We know where the 15 counties are. We should pick one of these and say, let's do some things differently that will allow this child to have more direct care or participation from the community that will give this child some stability and
Amen.
some certainty that they are needing. And I've talked to some foster parents about this also. And a couple of people that are really close to me have fostered and adopted children. And, Cameron, one of the things they talk about is bringing that child into that family and then helping that child heal and go through that process of healing and believing in themselves and realizing how important that safe, secure, family environment can be to them, and it makes a difference in that child's life. And then the child comes to realize that, and that should be what we hope to achieve, rather than keeping the attention on the bureaucracy of a department.
As you look across the state, I think we're doing pretty well, certainly comparatively speaking to other states around the United States of America, Senator Blackburn. But as you look around the state of Tennessee, what needs fixing? In other words, what do you look at and say, as governor, I'm going to champion this issue?
Yeah, well, let me say this to Cameron. I will work with him on this issue with DCS, because this is a problem that is defined. When you talk about things more fully, you know, issues that need to do. Let's talk about how we keep our taxes low, how we keep our spending low, how we get the burden off of the taxpayer as much as we can, and then also looking at where there are ways to reduce waste, fraud, and abuse. Bureaucracies grow. Everybody knows that. And using a process where you're going in and cutting back on that bureaucracy on a regular basis is a way to keep the growth down. Also, we hear a lot from people across the state about jobs, and there are great jobs coming into this state, and they want to see workforce development and workforce training, jobs retraining opportunities, and having those so that our kids don't move away to a job, so that our kids and their friends are coming here for a job. And having those world-class jobs and a world-class workforce means that our children have to have a world-class education. And I did a lot of work on the school choice provisions that came forward this year, working with the legislators and the governor, and really making certain that that was put in place, and now we've got to make certain that it is implemented, and that kids and parents are going to have the opportunity to decide how those children are going to be educated and what opportunities are going to be there for them.
A few additional moments, just a couple of additional minutes with Senator Marsha Blackburn, who announced earlier today that she's running for governor of the state of Tennessee. Cameron?
Yeah, real quickly, how would you respond to, you mentioned jobs, the small businesses, medium-sized businesses in Tennessee that say, hey, I didn't really anticipate these tariffs adding to my unit cost and what I do, but it's really hurting my small business. Hey, can you help me out with understanding this, advocate to the White House about this? How are you going to handle that when your role is really reversed? You're the executive of the state versus a legislator up there, cheering on the Trump administration when it comes to things like jobs and, where tariffs may negatively impact.
And we have worked and continue to work with dozens of businesses, whether they're small, medium, or large, on issues of tariffs and the impact that is having. And we are working with, there are people in the state that are working on this, and we're working on it. And Cameron, the thing is being able to advocate for those businesses. I was advocating for one earlier today, and they have a business, their HTS codes, there's a certain product that they have to import, and there is a designation called an HTS code. We have gathered those codes, and we've submitted those to USTR, and we're working it through the process to make certain that they are not going to face a tariff on those items, because there is one place that they can get that one specific item. And while we all want to see more jobs coming back into the U.S., we do not want to penalize people who are manufacturing or who are in agriculture or who are producers or maybe providing some service, and they are having to get that one specific item from a specific country. and we don't want that price to be hiked up on them.
Senator, I know you got to run. Your time's limited. Busy day for you. One final question from me as you launch your gubernatorial campaign. You're no stranger to these races, whether they're General Assembly races, House of Representatives, United States Senate. What differentiates you? You know that, obviously there are other names in the race already, Congressman Rose and others. What sets you apart, and what is your singular message to the people across the state of Tennessee as you begin this journey?
I have the most complete conservative record to lead this state. I have been delivering for the people of Tennessee for a long time. When I was in the state Senate, making certain we didn't have a state income tax, making certain we didn't give driver's licenses to illegal aliens, and we continue to lead and deliver for the people of this state. And working hard from every corner of the state. My goodness, Senator Brent Taylor down in Memphis, I've been working with him. We've got FBI resources surged down there. You look at the work we're doing in Middle Tennessee. I've been working with Cameron Sexton, who just talked to him, who's the Speaker of the House. You look at the great work that we are doing over in Oak Ridge, the work we're doing with the National Guard. I was working this morning on healthcare issues in Upper East Tennessee. And having that knowledge, having that ability to work at the local, state, and federal level, visiting every county in this state for the last 6 years, this is going to be a great run. We are going to win this race. We are going to be a hard-working governor, and we're going to make certain Tennessee is this country's conservative leader.
Senator, how can folks find out more about the gubernatorial race? Where can they go?
MarshaBlackburn.com.
Thank you. We look forward to many conversations down the road. Please come in. Next time you're in Nashville, come by the studio and we'll spend a little time together, okay?
You got it. Take care. Bye.
All right, take care. There's Marsha Blackburn. 25 after the hour, we'll talk about some of her responses, some, frankly, better than others, with regard to some of the questions asked as we begin the conversation, as she asks for your vote for governor of the state of Tennessee.
That is correct.
Yes. I tried to demote her to the state now. I don't know why I did that, but that came out of my brain, and I apologize. It's 25 after the hour on Super Talk. What is going on, guys? Matt Murphy here for the one and only Glock store. Have you been by? Have you seen them? I mean, all you got to do is go to Airlane Drive. Where's Airlane Drive, Murphy? Well, it's off Elm Hill Pike. Where's Elm Hill Pike, Murphy? It's off Briley Parkway. You know where that is? That's right off of I-40. I mean, it's minutes away from the airport. Worth the drive from anywhere. Friends. New guns nowadays come with optic readies, or they come optic ready. I should say it right out of the box. It's a modular optic system. But if you bought your Glock before some of these things happen, did you know that Glock dedicates one of their manufacturing machines, actually 3 of their manufacturing machines, to cutting Glock slides to precisely fit your red or green dot optics? It's just another way that they celebrate Glocks of all shapes and sizes, and unlike the optic ready Glocks, which rely on applicator plates, your optic will sit lower. It'll be more secure and more accurate as a result. And if you've never shot a Glock, remember, $6.99 gets you a 10-round sample pack, and you can shoot a Glock at their rental shop with either a Holosun or Vortec optic, the 2 most popular brands in the house. It's the Glock store, minutes away from the airport. Worth the drive from anywhere.
5:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. And we're getting good news about the 5 soldiers injured in today's active shooting at Fort Stewart in Georgia.
An active duty soldier assigned to Fort Stewart, Georgia, shot and wounded 5 of his fellow soldiers here on Fort Stewart. Thankfully, all are in stable condition and all are expected to recover.
Brigadier General John Lubis, the airfield commander of the 3rd Infantry Division there at Fort Stewart, said the suspect, Cornelius Radford, is in military custody. He is a sergeant.
I can confirm it was not a military weapon, and we believe it was a personal handgun.
No word on the motive, but we know from military bases that you are not allowed to carry any kind of weapon. During training, you're allowed to use weapons that are kept in the base armory, and then you have to return them. You are allowed to possess personal weaponry as long as it is properly registered and presented when you arrive on the base. Governor Bill Lee here in Tennessee authorizing the deployment of the Tennessee National Guard to help federal agents with ICE, specifically related to deportation efforts. They will help with administrative and clerical duties at ICE processing facilities within the state, such as data entry, case management, and logistical support. These troops will operate under the governor's orders but be paid by the federal government. And Tennessee U.S. Senator Marsha Blackburn telling WTN's Matt Murphy it's time for a reset of how state government works based on how close she has worked with President Trump during her time in the U.S. Senate, and that's why it is time for her to run for governor.
He is sending power, authority, control back to the states when it comes to education and energy and health care. And there's going to be an opportunity to innovate and to work on regulations and how benefits are administered.
Blackburn is the 3rd Republican to announce for governor, including 6th District to Congressman John Rose and Cito Pellegra. The primary is 1 year away from today. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Yeah, so we've had some rain here in the downtown area, and that may be part of the reason things have slowed down on the way home. I'm seeing some really heavy traffic eastbound 440 over to 24, and then that continues eastbound on 24. Westbound 40 into downtown is bumper to bumper. Sometime you're coming to complete stops. Now, we've got 3 crashes on I-40. I'm going to start with the one here in the Gulch. That is at Broadway. Then another one on Capitol View. That's at westbound after Church Street. We got one in Mount Juliet. Highway Patrol says there's a crash 40 eastbound at the Wilson-Davidson County line. And then in Murfreesboro, we got a stalled vehicle, shoulder blocked, 840 eastbound past New Nashville Highway, Northwest Broad Street, exit 55. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Hello, friends. Matt Murphy for Premier Generac Generators. They are your #1 Generac generator dealer in Middle Tennessee, and I want to tell you all about these guys. They're so great at what they do. And you might be wondering, do I need a home generator system? Well, of course you do. It improves the value of your home. Secondarily, obviously, the most obvious benefit is that you never have to worry about the power going out because you've got that home generator system right there. Now, you might wonder, well, is this for just a few items in the home, Murphy, or the whole home? Oh, no. Premier Generators and that home generator, Generac standby home generator, it powers 100% of your house. That's the biggest difference between having a home generator and a portable generator. That's why people choose the home generator system, because you don't have to refill it. It's none of that mess. It's automatic. It turns on automatically, and you have power when you need it. Call 855-POWER is on. That's 855-PWRISON. 855-POWER is on. Ask them about this incredible 10-year warranty that they have right now. You got to call today to get this offer. Tell them Matt Murphy sent you to the one and only Premier Generators, your #1 Generac generator dealer in Tennessee. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Before we get to nincompoops in the news, never you fear, we shall get to nincompoops in the news. I do want your reaction to our conversation with Senator and gubernatorial candidate Marsha Blackburn. Once again, I'm going to say it one more time for those in the back. I botched it. I totally botched my intro. I don't know why I said Alabama, but I did. I've been in Tennessee since 2021. I think maybe it's looking at you. I'm going to blame you, Cameron.
I just screamed Alabama.
You have nothing. Yeah, I was. You know,
I was born here.
No, you're a fan. Your fandom. I was thinking about football.
Aren't we all?
I was thinking about your ugly truck and what it has on the front of it.
I was thinking about your pretty crimson truck.
Hey, did you see my new? That's candy apple red. Thank you very much. Candy apple red. Yours is like white.
White.
You know, did you know that Alabama tried to trademark the colors crimson and white?
It would not shock me at all if that would
They
happen.
also tried to, they sued Daniel Moore to trademark the word Alabama because of his paintings.
That's great.
Don't get me started. Don't make me mad. Let
Alabama,
me blame you on my.
I hate it.
Allow me to blame you on
worst.
my failures. Thank you. Yes, Alabama's the worst. Go Tommy Tuberville. Anyway, your thoughts on the interview?
So she's clearly the front runner. The politic-speak is a challenge. And what I mean by that is she has been engaging in political conversations like the one we just had for so long that it just flows, right? Like for most people, they don't get asked these questions, and she's almost automatic. And there's a lot of the people hear a lot of the political speak. And I think that's going to be a challenge if folks say she's just giving me the next talking point. I think that she is right about her track record. Her track record is solid. I wasn't kidding when I said, hey, the music industry has really appreciated the work that she's done on a wide range of issues. But being authentic is the currency of politics right now. That's why people like Donald Trump, is because he's really who he is. And I think when you're talking about a gubernatorial race, you're a lot more front and center. You have to be, shaking babies and no, wait. shaking hands and kissing babies.
Shaking babies and kissing hands.
Right. Not that.
Sure.
But, you know, you got to do more of that. That's the thing. And so I think that's going to be her only challenge.
Jackson, I know that you come from a different world. You come from the world of sports. It is the reason that I ask you this question. And I don't want you to filter yourself in any way. As much, if you didn't listen, you can say that, and we'll deal with that toward the end. But what is your reaction to that conversation? I mean, unfiltered, just Jackson Williams, what is your reaction to that conversation?
It was interesting. It was a lot of political speak, though. It was a lot of politician speak. From what I heard.
You feel like it was like rehearsed answers, or
not as much rehearsed, but I've done a few of these before. I know how to answer this particular question.
Okay, I mean that goes directly to the heart of your point.
And it's vague. I mean, let's be honest. It's vague.
And I don't know. Maybe this isn't the issue that perhaps I think it is, but based on how the audience has responded to my asking for questions and based how they've responded to the answer to said question, I think Senator Blackburn would do well to have a better answer on the January 6th question. I was not here, but from what you guys tell me, she drew a line in the sand and said that she would not certify the election because of election irregularities and because of the frustration due to those election irregularities. Sure. And then she voted to certify the election. I gave her an opportunity to speak to that, and she said it was performative. That's not the word she used. She said it was ceremonial.
Ceremonial.
And that did not sit well with y'all. That's all I can say.
Yeah, well, the answer is unless I have evidence that I can put on the table on those irregularities, then, you know, you go with it. I understand the frustration, just like so many other voters, but, I mean, it's hard for a political candidate right now to say that. I mean, that's just a non-winner, and so I get that. But I do appreciate what she said about a DCS county pilot of saying, let's not try to solve everything at once. Let's try some ideas in a specific area and then get better on that. And I'd love to work with her on some of that stuff.
Yeah, I just, once again, it might be a minority of voters that are bothered by this singular subject, but I think as she moves across the state, she'll have perhaps a more detailed answer on the question. But the question was asked and the question was answered. We've got plenty of other questions for Senator Blackburn, and we will have opportunity to get those questions answered. In the meantime, it's 43 after the hour, and it is high time for those nincompoops that you know and love.
Nincompoops in the news.
Normally, it is a three-way race to the finish line to see who has the nincompoop of the day on these Wednesdays, where we welcome Cameron Smith to the table. It is a four-way race for nincompoopery. Always going first, last day's winner, and that would be Jackson Williams. He'll go first. One of us will go second. Another will go third. Another will go fourth, and then you get to vote. 615-737-9986. 615-737-9986. Jackson, bigamy has won you this honor. Congratulations.
I would like to thank Mr. Betsy from yesterday for today's.
Do you remember the three wives?
I don't remember their first names. I'm sure he didn't either.
I think Tanya. Yeah, I think Tanya was one of them.
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
He brought a new girlfriend to the court case. Mad respect. That took some courage.
That's pretty good. That's pretty solid. What's your candidate today, sir?
Firefighters rescue woman trapped in small chimney in San Bernardino. Firefighters rescued a woman trapped in a small chimney in San Bernardino on Tuesday. Air 7 flew over the scene where several Los Angeles firefighters were working to free the woman from the chimney. It happened at a municipal building at the City of San Bernardino Recreation Center on North Park Avenue. Officials say the small building is used for storage. According to LAFD, an approximately 30-year-old woman was discovered about 3 feet deep within the chimney exhaust flume. Members of the LA Fire Department's Urban Search and Rescue team had to use a ladder to reach her and then used a harness to lift her up and out of the chimney. Video shows crew lifting the woman out of the chimney. Over a dozen firefighters stood on the roof as they worked to free the woman. Eventually, she was lifted out and lowered to the roof, where she was strapped to a gurney and lowered to the ground using the truck ladder as a crane. The woman was alert and conscious and was loaded into an ambulance. So apparently witnesses say they could see the lady on top of the roof. She was pulling her shirt up, then pulling her pants down, just on the roof like dancing, said a witness.
What was she? Well, hold on a second. What was she doing?
A witness said I could see a lady on top of the roof. She was pulling her shirt up, then pulling her pants down, just on the roof like dancing, said a witness. I come around again and I see her hands waving out the chimney, and she's just screaming, help, help, help. We heard her screaming, and I thought she was kidding. But then it turned into something serious when she started saying, I'm hurt, I need help, and I can't get out. And then people started taking her seriously. A witness said there was a half-empty bottle of tequila in the woman's backpack, though it's unclear if she had consumed any alcohol before the rescue.
I think it's pretty clear.
Yeah, she was drunk and fell in a chimney.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear. I mean, I don't know how she got on that roof, but once she was on that roof with that tequila in her, yeah. Tequila make her clothes fall off.
That'll do it.
That's what I hear.
You think she stumbled and fell into the chimney, or do you think she just was drunk and trying to explore?
I think she was trying to get into the house. I mean, come on. How do you get into the house?
Unit.
You're on the roof. I think you're trying to get into the facility, the building, I should say, not the house. My bad. Mr. Ken Weaver, you're an nincompoop.
All right. Brother Jackson helped me out because I have been busier than a one-legged man in a you-know-what kicking contest.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to use Brother Jackson's because I need to come up with my own.
Okay.
And I just found one. Just like that. This comes from May 11th. Man accused of walking naked through angel mounds. Out of Evansville, Indiana, Evansville police say they arrested a man for public indecency after witnesses say he was walking naked through the Angel Mounds Public Park. 65-year-old Craig Kaling was seen by witnesses carrying his clothes in his hands as he walked in the woods by a parking lot.
As you do.
This was around 3:15 in the afternoon. According to witnesses, Kaling was patting himself while looking at the witness.
Good save.
And motioned for the witness to join him. Evansville police says Keeling admitted to walking around naked and patting himself, saying he was, quote, partaking in a little voyeurism.
Oh, yeah.
Keeling was taken to the Vandenberg County Jail. And it doesn't say when his next court appearance is, but that's what Mr. Keeling was doing on that day, and that's my nincompoop.
That's a pretty good nincompoop.
You ought to see him.
I've been inspired by Ken Weaver that I'm officially I had an nincompoop, but I'm officially calling an audible. But I'm going to go after Cameron Smith. Cameron, your nincompoop.
Yeah, I'm on like my third or fourth level because y'all have already nincompooped the.
You missed last week, so
I
you're
know.
like 2 weeks of nincompoops have stacked up on you.
And I always go with Florida Man, and y'all steal the Florida Man.
You know the first thing Cameron asked me is the segment right before the segment started. He said, y'all haven't done one about a guy marrying 3 ladies, have you? It's like, yes.
That was the winner.
Yeah, that was a big winner yesterday. So,
I vaguely remember, I think this one may have been done, but so then it's a retread, is the Sarasota Planet Fitness.
I won with that one as well.
Jeez, come on. Well, then I retire.
Where he was naked and he tried to burn it down.
You can have the one that I rejected. This is officially Cameron's.
Oh, okay.
Now, I don't know who the nincompoop in this story is, but somebody's a nincompoop, and there's going to be a follow-up on this story. Tampa, Florida, according to WFLA, an, quote, extremely lucky gambler hit 389 jackpots in one day at the Seminole Hard Rock Casino and Hotel. 389 jackpots in one day. He won more than $1.8 million. According to the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Tampa, they announced Tuesday that Meyer O, I guess they're withholding his last name, saw big wins throughout the day on several of their popular slot machines. He hits $170,678.18 on Locket Link, $99,350 on Panda Magic Dragon Link, $258,000 on Golden Century Dragon Link, $115,000 and $143,000 on 2 other machines. The casino, in a news release, said, quote, this lucky streak is one of the most impressive one-day runs in our property's history. Stories like this show how exciting and rewarding a visit to Seminole Hard Rock Tampa can be, said Joseph Wagner, Vice President and Assistant General Manager of Seminole. This guest's incredible day is certainly unique. It's always thrilling to see someone have such an unforgettable experience. Men, I ask you the question. Who's the nincompoop here? Because somebody's cheating.
Yes.
All right, so it's either the casino that set this up to get free publicity, right?
Not
Like,
bad.
oh, let's get a big winner. Or this dude has figured out something. There is another story that's coming down the pike. Would you not agree?
It's got to be.
There's no way he's that lucky.
Maybe
No.
he's just lucky.
That
Had a good day.
that when you multiply the odds, they're not a chance.
It's like 187 gajillion quadrillion to 1
like being eaten by a shark that fell out of the sky.
in the casino.
Right.
Right, through the roof in the casino. The shark slivers over to him, bites him on the ass. That's the
Yes.
odds
Yes.
of you hitting 389 jackpots in one day. No question.
Well, Kim Jong-un can do it.
Well, that's true.
What if he played all day, 24 hours?
Well, you would have to.
I just like the names of I love walking through a casino and seeing some of these slot machines and different games and some of the names. You know, the double dragon and the little devil baby machine and all that crap.
That is like 15 jackpots an hour.
Yeah.
That is kind of absurd.
That's set up.
I feel like it's a setup
That's
to get publicity. Either that or the dude is cheating. And if the dude's cheating, I feel like the casino's got to be. I mean, they either just can't figure out how he's cheating or what. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how you would do it. Magnets, whatever. But that's not mine. That's Cameron's. So if y'all vote for Magic Panda Dragon Link, vote Cameron. Mine comes to us from the world of the WNBA.
Oh, look out. Something just came onto the floor. Got an object that just flew in as the free throw was being made. And it looked like that hit a player, too.
It did. Okay, so I don't know if y'all...
What's the object, Matt?
That object would be a personal pleasure device.
What does that mean?
A radio.
A television.
Well, it's got batteries.
Somebody.
I don't think it does, Ken. I don't think it does. I don't think this one.
Jackson, can you educate Ken real quick?
I don't think
Ken,
it does.
this one's less of an automatic, more of a manual transmission.
You got to mind the clutch doesn't slip. Yeah.
Oh, buddy.
So, some person, I don't know who, I don't know, male, female, the other day in the WNBA, they decided to spice things up a little bit by tossing an object normally reserved for the privacy of our own bedrooms onto the court. Now, and it was bright neon green in coloring.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I'm gesticulating my hands in this fashion, but that's looked to be about the size.
That's about right.
That's about the size of it all. Well, we now have, y'all know how many? We're now, no, there was so there's 3. So we now have 3 that have made their way to the court on individual nights in the WNBA. 3 separate personal pleasure devices. But there have been 4. They sighted one in the stands before it was hurled onto the court.
No, that it was thrown. It just hit a kid instead of the court.
Goodness.
That had to be an awkward ride home.
Oh, that poor kid.
Hey, Mommy, what was that?
It was a
thingy.
I don't
Look, a bird.
We're gonna go get Dairy Queen. Anyway, there you go. That's how you play Nickaboops of the News. It's time to go to the news or something.
Something
Get away
like
from
that.
it. I
Something.
can't. Look, if you don't know, just look it up. WNBA object on court.
All right.
I
I'm gonna
promise.
look it up.
I promise you'll find it. It's
Not
bright.
on the work computer, Ken.
It's neon green and it's
Not a catfish.
Neon green.
And if they're not selling these as WNBA merch today, they're missing an opportunity. By the way, people are betting more on which game will have another one of these thrown onto the court than they are on the actual games. That is, I'm not making that up. All right, that's how we play Nickaboops in the News. It's 55 after the hour on Super Talk. Have you ever noticed how unreliable things have become these days? Like when someone tells you, hey, it'll be ready at 4 o'clock, and then it's not ready at 4 o'clock. Hey, it's Matt Murphy here to tell you, if you've had unreliable vehicle repair shops in your past, go to Eurofix. Eurofix turns unreliable into, wait for it now, reliable. And Eurofix has your vehicle ready when they say that it's ready. When it's really ready, you don't have to stand around waiting. Eurofix also repairs all European automobiles with quality that beats the dealer without dealer pricing. See, a dealer repair shop, they are designed to pay virtually all of the overhead of the dealership, and that's a lot of money. Why would you want to pay for all of that? At Eurofix, also, reliable means a 3-year nationwide warranty on work performed, plus a rental car available with every repair appointment. If you are tired of unreliable repair shops, come to where it's reliable at Eurofix. They have been family-owned for over a quarter of a century. Call 844-EUROFIX, 844-EUROFIX, or go to visit myEurofix.com. Tell them Matt Murphy sent you to myEurofix.com. The Wellness Institute of Nashville has my seal of approval for a simple reason, because Dr. Mitch, Dr. Ashley, and the rest of the team, they are the best at what they do. That is alleviating pain wherever it hurts on your person without having to resort for taking pills, for needles, or for the possibility of surgery. And right now, they believe in what they do so much, they are offering you the Big Daddy Trump special. For $12, I say for $12, You have a comprehensive examination in front of you, x-rays if needed, a well-explained diagnosis, and your first treatment. That's just for $12. Friends, I can't promise it's going to be $12 every time you go to the Wellness Institute of Nashville, but that's what it's going to be the first time you go. Thank you to the Big Daddy Trump special. Plus, Dr. Mitchell and Dr. Ashley want you to see the performance in action. You can feel better. You can alleviate your pain without having to resort to pills or needles with the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Friends, it simply works. Go to painisbad.com, painisbad.com, or call them today, 615-246-5009, 246-5009.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Mike Dubusky. The suspect in today's shooting at an Army base in Georgia has been identified as Cornelius Radford, a 28-year-old automated logistics sergeant. Authorities say he used a personal handgun, not a military weapon, in the shooting, which sent 5 other soldiers to the hospital. Those victims are in stable condition, the Army says. Brigadier General John Lubis at a press conference in the last hour.
I would also like to thank the brave soldiers who immediately intervened and subdued the shooter. These soldiers, without a doubt, prevented further casualties.
No word yet on a motive for Radford, though Lubis did say the incident played out at his place of work and involved his coworkers. Investigators are now working to determine how Radford was able to obtain a handgun and bring it onto the base, which has restrictions around personal weapons. Radford was also arrested earlier this year for driving under the influence. This is ABC News.
Well, here in Tennessee, Governor Lee's authorizing deployment of the National Guard to help federal agents with ICE operations, specifically related to deportation efforts. They will help with administrative and clerical duties at ICE processing facilities here in Tennessee. Right now in Tennessee, senior U.S. Senator Marsha Blackburn telling WTN's Matt Murphy she's running for governor to reset state government now that President Trump has given power back to the states.
It is going to be an opportunity to grab that and then innovate. Think of what great innovation we do when it comes to energy and to health care. When it comes to how you educate children, the U.S. Department of Education is going to go away.
Blackburn becomes the third Republican to announce second major candidate, including 6th District Congressman John Rose, who tells WTN's Chris Hanshow this morning this changes the way he's campaigned so far.
I think it does. I mean, obviously, I've been the only major candidate in the race now for going on 5 months. And so, you know, it's hard to get people interested in thinking about an election that's 1 year away. Today's the 1 year mark. I assume probably not a coincidence.
Congressman Rose took questions from listeners on the Chris Hand Show. Lots of questions about marijuana. You can hear and see it all on the WTN YouTube page under the live section. The other Republican in the race is Cito Pellegra. A New Mexico man heard noises in his home and was shocked with what he found inside.
Bear came in, I killed him.
Heard on law enforcement body-worn camera, the man living near Hermit Peak, New Mexico, northeast of Albuquerque, said he was asleep in his home and heard noises at around 11 at night. He grabbed his rifle and found a black bear in his home going through his stuff. The bear ripped apart his kitchen.
Tore the door off my cabinet.
He shot the bear. The Game and Fish Department says a man had every right to defend himself.
We are not going to charge anybody in those situations.
The man was uninjured. The bear is dead. Alex Stone, ABC News.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, see a crash 24 eastbound at Hickory Hollow Parkway in Antioch. In Murfreesboro, still got that stalled vehicle on the left shoulder. You got to get over for it. 840 eastbound past New Nashville Highway, Northwest Broad Street, exit 55. Those are the only crashes I'm seeing on the interstates. That's traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Matt Murphy, and I believe that I am the big winner. I know you got the sign-in creds over there, Jackson. You can do a little sleuthing on your own.
It's close.
And do a bit of a recount. Close between who?
Me and you.
What? You know, I'm having my a finger wagged in my face by one of our loyal listeners because of my refusal to say the word dildo. But hey, before you stop me, I was told that Dan Mandis of Nashville's Morning News said the word this morning or yesterday. So
is there like a banned words registry?
No, I mean, it's really just we're down to two, really. You know, I mean, some will say that the world's a better place because of that. Some might say that the world's a worse place than because of that. But we're really down to two words that you can't say on the radio.
And occasionally Matt will say one.
My boys say that they can say whatever the president says.
That's fair. I mean, but the president says about it. He kind of says it all, doesn't he?
He does.
Have you seen the memes of him on the roof? They're so good.
The dancing.
Well, the dancing, and then him yelling at the reporters, and they're putting words behind what he's yelling, and saying "I fart in your general direction."
Yes, from Monty Python.
From Monty Python.
I love that.
It's so good. It's so good. What the hell are you doing on the roof, man?
I
love that he's on the roof.
I love it. Because, the gilded presidents that you never get to see, and then here's this guy, I think I'm going to dance on the roof.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go up on the roof. Hey, can we put nukes on the roof? We need nukes. We took them out of the Rose Garden. Now we need them on the roof.
Yes.
I guess. I mean, I love it. I love the fact that he announced that he's going to build a big ballroom, and the same liberal Democrats, the Washington, D.C. Democrat circles that have said that we needed a Washington, D.C. White House ballroom for years are now against a White House ballroom. And he's going to pay for it.
Obviously, we need to oppose it.
Because Trump.
Reasons.
Mm-hmm. Upstairs told Dan to quit, but Chris kept right on saying it. Upstairs? We don't have an upstairs. We are the upstairs. You mean downstairs. You mean the downstairs corner office. That probably
the boss.
Yeah, probably put a kibosh on the D word. So we'll just say it the one time and be done with it. That fair, Jackson?
Yeah.
Have you done the total tally? I'm going to trust you on this.
I'm going to give you the win.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
That's hard for me.
The people gave me the win, Jackson. It's the people's victory. It's not my victory. It's the WNBA. It's really a victory. It's a victory for the D. It's a victory for the D. If you know what I mean.
I think I helped you win with my manual transmission joke.
That was good.
It was a good joke.
It was.
Can we or can we not talk about this?
Sure. Let's go.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, so speaking of...
well, you should call them personal pleasure devices, PPDs.
Speaking of personal pleasure devices, Cameron Smith, my good friend...
This is great already.
Told me a story that I had a difficult time believing.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Involving a personal pleasure device and his family.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically,
Yep.
his 5 sons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cameron?
Yeah. I mean, I just want all the parents to know out there that it's okay.
It's going to be all right.
It's going to be all right. Because in my house,
give us ages. You need to give ages.
16, 15, 15, 14, 11.
Okay.
Okay. We have 3 bios and 2 bonus sons. It's a great crew. So I periodically just turn off the internet in my house, make it a dumb house. Like, no more. Like, we watch screens and say, nope, you've hit the limit. So I just said, beep, turned it off. They said, well, fine. We're going to go bike to the local Mexican restaurant, 8-mile round trip. But the boys decided to set out and eat Mexican food and come back home. Okay.
So
cool.
they walked.
They biked.
Or biked. Okay.
Yes, they biked.
Biked 4 miles to the Mexican restaurant.
Yep.
And you're like, I mean, but you know what? That's cool.
We're old school, man.
Well, but you live in a part of the world, and I mean, it's good that you can do that.
Yeah, and
safely.
in our community, I mean, we have a great community in Nolensville. I love it. And people see that, and they're like, well, that's weird. Oh, it's probably the Smith boys. And so I'm good with that. I think it's important to have feral kids, to just let them go. And it teaches them responsibility, all that fun stuff.
Were you telling yourself this?
I was.
During the saga that you're about to regale us with?
Yeah, so they I have so many questions how any of this happens.
By the way, can I say something?
Sure.
Or in the form of a question?
Go ahead.
Everything you're about to say, you swear is true?
Unequivocally.
Okay, go.
Unequivocally.
Go.
So they decide they're setting out on the adventure, right? And on these adventures, they pick up like animal bones, like deer skulls, whatever.
They see things on the side of the road.
Right. They see it on the side of the road and they bring it home. In this case, it was PBD.
A personal pleasure device.
Yes. That was just hanging out there on the side of the road. Now,
similar in nature to the ones that we've seen at WNBA games.
Quite similar.
Okay.
With a suction cup on one end. So just cause. And
whoa.
Yeah. And they said, you know what? That's funny. So we should pick that up and take it with us to the Mexican restaurant. Bring it back home.
Hold on a second. They've improved on technology.
Innovations in manual shift.
I suppose so.
Yeah.
You don't have to. They tell me in NASCAR you don't have to use the clutch anymore. I guess
I don't know.
Anyway, so they found one of these.
Yep.
And they brought it home.
Yep. Unbeknownst to my wife and I, right?
Yeah, sure.
We have no idea.
They're not swinging it about and throwing it.
No. Well, maybe, but
not in front of
us.
Okay.
And then, long story short, I won't say anything incriminating, but it came to our attention that this was happening and had been happening for approximately a week.
It is to your great benefit that when you have 4 boys between the ages of 11 and 16, or 5 boys between the ages of 11 and 16, they can't keep a secret.
No. They just can't because
it's impossible.
It's hilarious. They want to tell everybody.
That's right.
And so I get a call on the way home from work from my wife, Justine, who says, hey, I'm going to need you to deal with something.
Who is an angel from heaven.
And I'm like, oh, wow, this is going to be good. So she tells me what happens. And then I call the boys down, and these are interesting discussions. And I said, so what were we thinking? The first response was, well, we washed it. I'm like, okay.
Was it dishwasher safe?
I don't know. We washed it because it's funny.
We washed it.
Yeah, it's inherently funny because they're teenage boys, so they're just giggling their heads off.
Right.
And they
found it on the side of the road.
And so that begs the question that we have.
How did it get on the side of the road?
That and somewhere there's a person that either passed through Nolensville or a resident of Nolensville that said, I've had enough of this.
Probably a fan of the WNBA.
Discarded it.
Yeah.
I don't know that story. I'm interested. But the bottom line was...
well, I don't want to go to your mother's either. Whoop.
Well,
or I don't know.
Apparently, the funniest part about it was the suction cup, which the boys could use to adhere the PPD to various surfaces, and then throw things at it and make it wobble. And
a little like remember the fair? You do the old ring
toss.
Old ring toss.
Yeah. And so that was what was happening upstairs, unbeknownst to me. But ultimately, we disposed of it, and
that's good.
One of them,
that's good.
I said, do you realize that, like, if you tell people that this is a thing that you're doing, they have a lot of questions, but they're going to ask, why are you playing with PPDs that you find? And he's like, well, I'm not into that. I'm like, well, how do you explain
You're kind of into it.
Like, you just play with them for fun?
I mean, you're into it in a different way.
Right.
But you're into it.
Yeah. And I said, is that the reputation you really want? And the answer was no. So that was positive. But,
yeah, I guess there's a slight danger that you might get a yes.
Yeah, it's 2025, all kinds of weird stuff.
I mean, 5 boys between 16 and 11, I guarantee you there was one maybe.
Yeah, if anyone in the listening audience ever wants to know how to deal with a completely awkward and weird scenario, I deal with it every day and sometimes every half day.
This story, you had me at wobble.
Yeah, it's real.
You had me at wobble.
Yeah, forget the nincompoops in the news. This is just my life.
Nincompoops in your house.
I'm giggling because I've been a teenage boy before, and like I'm doing the dad thing, and I'm sitting there and across the counter, I'm like, how could we have handled this? And I can't even keep a straight face. How could we have handled this better? But not picking it up in the first place.
Yeah.
Yep.
How'd they get it home?
He just, can you imagine this? One of my boys, I will not identify.
Okay, yeah. I understand.
Decided,
we protect his anonymity.
I'm going to get it. I'm going to stick it in my pocket. And so he had a dinghy in his pocket to go to the Mexican restaurant, ate dinner.
They found it on the way?
Yes.
So he's sitting in a Mexican joint.
Yes.
With the PPD in his pocket.
Yep. And then,
that begs a joke.
Just casually, just hanging out.
I'm just happy to see you, ma'am. I'm just happy to see you.
I think these tacos are good. It's just a lot. And so that is the only reason I say that is because I want all of you to know that whatever you're dealing with your teenagers, this too shall pass, I've been told. So we're rocking and rolling. I'm in it with you guys, and I don't want anyone to think that the Smith family, the Smith boys, are this pristine, curated picture of humanity.
I think 0152 speaks for everyone when 0152 says, can we just go back to the evils of milk, please? LOL. I was talking about that yesterday. I'm not a milk guy. Okay. Well, I'm glad that we properly disposed of the offending material. In other news, if you have been in the greater Nolensville area and you perhaps have items of a personal nature that you have misplaced, maybe even along the roadway, just give us a call here at the radio station and we'll get you in contact with Cameron, and perhaps he can get you in the right direction as to where you might find said item.
That would be an awkward conversation.
21 after the hour on Super Talk. Friends, if you go down Franklin Way, I would encourage you, if you're on the square, to stop in and see Holly and David at Savory Spice. Friends, they truly do up your food game with the spices that they have at Savory Spice. I mean, it's just fabulous. I mean, they have anything that they have in the store. Here's the one thing that I fail to tell you from time to time. Just about anything that they have in the store, you get to sample. They'll have a sample for you so you can actually taste the goods before you purchase the goods and take them home. Now, they have spices of an exotic flavor and nature, international things, and they have seasonings that you know and love that you come back to. I love there's a blend that's got salt and pepper and garlic in there and maybe a little bit of onion. Absolutely love this flavoring. I put it on just about everything. There's different blends that you can put on just about everything. You'll find the right seasoning, the right salt, the right pepper, or the right spice for yourself or your family at Savory Spice. If you're looking to cook a particular dish, find it at Savory Spice. If you are the cook in the kitchen, you need to restock at Savory Spice. And if you don't know your way around the kitchen, they can help you as well. Holly and David would love to see you. I encourage you to restock at Savory Spice today. They up your food game by upping your spice game. And you up your spice game in Franklin, just off the square at the one and only Savory Spice.
President Trump commenting on today's active shooting at Fort Stewart in Georgia, and Tennessee U.S. Senator Marsha Blackburn telling WTN's Matt Murphy why she's decided it's time to announce her run for governor. These stories are more at 6:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I think we finally found the dividing line between the male listeners in the audience and the female listeners in the audience.
Yep.
There's been a lot of positive response to the last segment of the show from the male listeners in the audience. Not so much from the female listeners.
Understandable, actually.
As a matter of fact, we heard from a mama. And if you're still listening, I'm so sorry for Cameron. I apologize. I have talked with him about these things, and he will not do it again.
My wife hasn't been. I hope I don't do it again. I mean, good grief, it gets weird in my house. I mean,
you say they were throwing it at the window, trying to make it stick. Is that what you said?
You never know. There's a lot of
whatever.
Young men in my house are quite creative when it comes to things to do.
I mean, 3 wasn't enough.
No,
you had to throw 2 more in the mix. Good for you, though. Good for you.
Yeah, kids deserve a chance, and I believe that all the sons that I have in my house, they come from different mamas and they have different experience. But man, it's a great pack to have, and I will not zombify my kids with technology, and that means it's going to get weird. So I'm cool with that. I mean, it's a lot better than I can give them an iPad and they'll sit still for 8 hours, but we're not going to do that.
I'm just telling you as your good friend.
This should be good.
That the next time you tell me you spent the weekend with the boys spelunking,
you're going to ask them more questions.
I'm going to think things about this story that you've just told.
Speaking of which, the best thing I can do with them is take a rock, cave and say, this is where you're contained for the weekend.
Wow, that's good. That's good. I mean, but you can't. It's serious questions. A serious parenting question.
Yeah.
You don't. I mean, you don't punish necessarily for that, do you? I mean,
no. For something like that, we really try to let's have a conversation about it. Like, let's understand what happened here, what transpired, and why.
I mean, because that's a find. They didn't steal anything.
No. I mean,
that was a finders, keepers, losers, weepers.
Which losers entertained.
I mean, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm walking along. All I know is if I'm walking along and I see a bag full of money, laying on the side of the road, I'm probably going to ask around, maybe take it to the police department. But at some point, that's my money.
But at some point, with the money, you're like probably not thinking that could have diseases on it, And so we have those conversations like, guys, that's not, and we're an open book. Like, I have no problem.
You don't know where that's been. I get it.
I talk to the boys about all that stuff, and I get it. I understand parents who don't want to have those conversations and think that's tough, but I would rather have those conversations with my boys than their buddies at school with underdeveloped brains. So that's just a decision that we've made.
100%. I have all the respect in the world. And, it keeps us from discussing a gubernatorial race that will not be decided for another year, for 30 minutes at least. Eric in Jasper has a nincompoop or a thought about nincompoops. Hello, Eric. Be careful, Eric.
I am the nincompoop.
Why are you the nincompoop?
Oh, see, Cameron, boys will be boys.
I've heard that.
Back in the 70s, you remember the red hot water bottles?
The red, I don't.
The hot water bottles that were red.
Yeah. My grandma had one of those hanging on the back of the door in the bathroom.
Yeah, I know what those are.
And the little white hose.
Yes. We all know about hot water bottles. I don't think we need to describe it any further.
Okay. Back in the 70s, I was out playing, and I was getting thirsty. I couldn't find my canteen and all this stuff, so I grabbed it, not knowing what it was. Grabbed it and filled it with water, running around, drinking water out of that little white hose. My mother caught me.
Oh, wow.
My grandma always told me that was for the cramps. She did, Ken.
I was the oldest.
Oh, buddy.
I don't.
I never had that conversation with one of the boys.
Gosh, Eric.
And
I don't.
My mother went on to tell that story to my first ex-wife, and I thought, she says, it took me a month to look him in the face to tell him about that.
Man, you know what? I thought I had a good one with the gold. What was it? Blue Star ointment stops itching fast. I thought I had a pretty good story with that one. I think that has me beat, Eric. I came home one day from the peach packing shed, Blue Star ointment. I had a heat rash. And I don't know if you know anything about Blue Star ointment.
It's like icy hot, right?
It is, yeah. And my grandpa, I didn't know anything about it. I'm 15 years old. I'm like, he's like, what are you walking funny for? And I said, I got a heat rash in my, on my thighs.
Groin area.
In my groin area. And he goes, go in there and get some of that Blue Star ointment and slather it on there real good, he said. And the only thing louder than my screaming was my paws laughing. I was so mad at him. He goes, he said, you ain't thinking about your thighs anymore, are you? I was like, no. It's time for news on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. President Trump, commenting on today's active shooting at Fort Stewart in Georgia, says the entire nation's praying for the victims and their families.
The shooter is now in custody, and the Army Criminal Investigation Division is on site to ensure that the perpetrator of this atrocity, which is exactly what it is, will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
5 soldiers injured, but all expected to fully recover. Officials say Army Sergeant, 28-year-old Cornelius Radford, allegedly used his own weapon to carry out the attack. Personal weapons are not allowed on the base. No word on the motive. Election 2024, Tennessee U.S. Senator Marsha Blackburn telling WTN's Matt Murphy she's running for governor to reset state government now that President Trump has returned power to the states.
Well, I have worked so closely with President Trump. There's no one that has worked more closely with him than me to pass his agenda. And he is sending power, authority, control back to the state.
Blackburn's the third Republican to announce for the governor's race, second major candidate, including 6th District Congressman John Rose. The other Republican in the race is Cito Pellegra. Money News, Mike Nabusky.
A rally for Apple pulled stocks higher across the indices and accounted for nearly half of the S&P's gain. Investors were anticipating an announcement from the White House and Apple CEO Tim Cook on a new $100 billion investment in domestic manufacturing. The Dow added 81 points, the Nasdaq soared 252, and the S&P gained 45. Another batch of earnings reports also helped push stocks higher. McDonald's and Shopify rose following their latest updates, while Supermicro Computer tumbled after its earnings and revenue came in below expectations. The Walt Disney Company, the parent company of ABC News, fell after its earnings beat forecasts as its revenue fell short of expectations. For the second time since 2018, retailer Claire's has filed for bankruptcy as it struggles with a big debt load and changing consumer habits. Brazil has requested consultations at the World Trade Organization over President Trump's tariffs.
That's the latest news, traffic, and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Antioch got a crash. On-ramp partially blocked 24 westbound from Hickory Hollow Parkway. And Creve Hall, a crash. Off-ramp partially blocked 65 southbound to Harding Place. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
If you go down to Nashville Safe House, it's right on 4th Avenue South, across the street from City Cemetery. Now, you can find them online at NashvilleSafeHouse.com, but I encourage you to go. And you walk into the lobby area, and there you see previous employees of the year. Oh, that's right. You know, Mark wants to honor those that sell the most safes in his company. People like Joe Biden. Joe Biden won the honor one year. Kamala Harris has won the honor as well. I think Barack Obama won it one year because these people make you feel less safe than anyone else in the United States of America, and they make you want to buy a safe. But if you walk through the lobby area and have one of their sales associates take you to the incredible showcase of safes, you see more safes than you can imagine. I mean, Browning and Fort Knox and Liberty and all the brand names. And they're right there in the showroom. It's like a maze of safes, like a little rat maze of safes. And then they tell you, oh, this is like 200 of the 600 we have in stock. Are you kidding me? They have a safe for every budget. They have a safe for every size, every price point. They have a safe for you. Gun safes, jewelry safes, corporate safes, vault doors, whatever you need, they have it for you at Nashville Safe House. And many rebates are going on right now. I think Browning still has their rebate going on. Liberty has their rebate going on. Ask Mark and his team when you stop by and see the best Nashville Safe House. Go to NashvilleSafeHouse.com or on the street, 4th Avenue South in Nashville. Tell them I sent you. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Great conversation with two young conservatives, Schuyler and Morgan, presenting the Young Conservatives Day on the Hill. I'm attempting to convince Cameron Smith to come to this day, happening Friday between 1 and 4 at the Tennessee State Capitol. I'm trying to encourage him by saying, no, Cameron, you don't have to be young. You really don't have to be a conservative, because I'm not, but we can go and we can see the youngsters that gather together. Senator Mark Pody sponsoring this event. But thank you to Morgan and Schuyler for telling us all about it. Thank you as well to Senator Marsha Blackburn for coming on the radio show, discussing her decision to become the next governor or run for the next governor of the state of Tennessee. Very exciting. Answered some questions, did not answer others. But once again, I remind you, it's the beginning of a conversation, not the end of a conversation.
Dude,
what?
On the Super Talk text line, 3966 identified the PPD.
What?
That was property of another old school Nolensville family with 5 kids, 4 boys and a girl. Not sure where it came from, but it was sneakily placed upon each other's trucks before work, school, etc. I believe the day it was disposed of was when it made a trip to church. So I believe that it was blessed before your hooligans found it. At least I hope so. Big if true. That would be amazing. From one family to another.
I mean, just pay it forward.
Something like that.
What the hell are y'all doing in Nolensville?
I don't know. I don't have a good answer.
I mean, I thought that was an upstanding community.
I did too.
You could raise families.
I don't know.
Have your boys ride their bicycles to the Mexican restaurant without fear of you know, finding a bone's one thing, but
I literally came home. This is what my house is like. I came home, and on top of the trash can was a pile of bones, actual bones.
Animal bones? Human bones?
I believe.
Okay.
I didn't identify. I'm like, well.
Yeah.
And I go inside and like, hey, can somebody remove the bones from the top of the trash can? I don't know where they go. Justine, at this point, is sick of bones coming into our home. And so one of the boys goes, well, I was making a sword out of bones. Well, yeah, bones and wood.
Yeah.
Obviously. Yeah. I'm like, okay, cool.
I mean,
cool.
you're the one that won't let them have
right.
a laptop.
It's iPad or we're going to make implements of war. Okay, cool.
Ray writes in and said, I had to leave early from the interview with Marsha. Did you ask her about marijuana? We did not ask Marsha about marijuana. I did not ask her about her taking money from the pharmaceutical industry. And we will ask her the other question that people wanted to know about was her net worth.
Yeah.
And whether or not, you know, a lot of people don't get poorer going to Congress.
It's funny how that works.
And they don't get paid that much, relatively speaking, to the cost, the expense of having to live up there and travel and whatnot. I want to say a United States House of Representatives member is $175,000 a year thereabouts. And I guess the Senate makes more. I would assume they make more. Maybe they don't. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the salary for senators is roughly $174,000 per year.
Okay, well then
Senate
that would
leaders,
be
$193,000.
And that'd be the same for the House. And so if you subtract, and look, I'm not poor mouthing them, whatever. But what I am saying is, if I'm making $174,000 a year, for some that are called to public service, that's a pay cut.
Yes,
all right?
A lot actually.
I mean, for a lot of and you believe it or not, you don't necessarily want it to be that significant of a pay increase. I mean, I want people that are elected to public service to be successful enough to have a certain level of financial stability.
The way I say it is I don't want this to be the best job you've ever had.
Right. I mean, I'll put it even more directly. Would you vote for a poor person? I don't think I would.
Well, this is so the AOC scenario, like somebody like that, you know, I don't actually have a problem if somebody's a good leader and they have demonstrated that capacity, like, okay, but I want to see a track record of success, and it's kind of hard to see that if they don't have it.
I mean, it would have to be a specialty circumstance.
Yeah.
For me to vote for someone that is, relatively speaking, poor.
Yeah.
Because I feel like financial stability is a certain in your personal life is a marker of success.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I would want to the dollar value matters less to me than if you lack ambition or motivation or these type of things, and that's why.
If you are driven to a particular career that is in some sort of public service,
right,
that is not going to pay you very much at all, or you give, I mean, there are circumstances that I could come up with that I say, okay, yeah, that's different.
So I say that because, like, for example, I know there's folks that I'm on the board of an organization that combats human trafficking, right? And there's some of these folks that go and do this in these foreign countries, and they don't make a lot of money, but the work is noble, they're called to it. And so that kind of person, yeah, I would, and even if the dollar amount is not high, but somebody that's like, well, I play video games all night, and you know, work it.
Or I'm a 26-year-old bartender that just decided that I think I can stomp around the neighborhood and knock on doors and use my charm and my looks to convince people to vote for me.
Well,
hello, AOC.
Community organizers. I still don't know what that is, but there's plenty of those in Congress.
I mean, that's organizing protest or something. I don't know what it is either. But point being, yeah, you don't want it to be their best job. At the same time, a lot of these people they're doing this for less money. However, and I understand how someone at some point is going to make an argument that we need to increase congressional pay.
Yeah, it has not been increased since 2009. I just looked it up.
And probably not a lot then.
It was 169.3.
And it went to 174?
Mm-hmm.
That's not a lot.
Mm-mm.
So when you consider that they pay travel expenses out of that, but
no, they don't pay travel expenses. They have a members representational allowance, basically, that lets them pay for their official travel, things like that.
So their flights and all that's paid for.
Yeah, I mean that's what they're making.
Housing though,
they can pay for housing now. I think this. I don't know about the Senate. I know in the House they can pay for that out of their MRA. So
okay, well then I shut up. Then I take it all back. Then to hell with it. They're paid enough.
Yeah, I mean my deal with congressional pay is actually not with the members. It's the quality of the people that work for them. That if you don't want 20-somethings running the federal government,
you need to pay them more.
You got to pay them more. You got to pay the staff more, because I've been that staffer that's like, I'm going to events so that I can eat like dinner one bite at a time, and most folks don't want to stay and do that. They're like, okay, I'll do this for a little while to like get a leg up, and then I'm going to leave. And I think it's actually the staff that we should start paying a little more.
9058 is very, very frustrated. Says, I'm not sure how you got this spot. Then said a curse word to me, and said, "You font make that much?" So 9058 is trying to use their words. Pay them $25,000 a year. That's BS. What you just said. You font make that much. Look how much Pelosi. I'm getting to that point. 9058. If you would let me get there, they get $1 million for their staff. Says 9058. All right, now you're starting to make points. So, no, the point is, I do not believe in a world where they should be able to engage in any level of stock trading, because based on their position, they naturally are privy to information that could influence their stock trades. And I understand they talk about putting it in a blind trust or whatever, but...
So actually, and this won't shock you at all, I think I'm totally fine with it as long as it's reported in real time to the public.
Yeah, but it isn't.
And if it's not, then no, I agree with you. But I mean, my point is, if Pelosi's making these trades in real time and discloses them in real time and everybody can see and they can just get in on the action, like, okay.
No, but Pelosi's not making those trades, Cameron. Her husband is.
What?
Right. Or her brother is. Or her cousin's brother is.
Well,
that's my...
And we're playing the game with insider information. I mean, you know, because here's a good example. You could actually make money just by watching congressional hearings that are public, right? You could say, this did not go well. Like, they're going to pass a law that's going to hurt this company and short the company, right? The inside information is when that CEO comes to you and says, hey, I'm about to dump a bunch of shares and it's going to hurt the stock price. Go get it.
Anything along those lines that potentially can incentivize individuals that are otherwise good people and lead them down that road, or bad people that does this. My bottom line is this. I don't see people going to Washington, D.C. and coming home poorer, or even in the same economic status. I see people going to Washington, D.C.
They come back richer.
And they come back much richer. I mean, Spencer Backus back in Alabama.
Well, the book deals and stuff like that, like, it's, you know, I got an advance for my book deal. I'm
Whatever.
Like, your book's kind of boring, just saying.
Right, and nobody's paying for that book, and that feels like it's a Hunter Biden painting.
Yes, the
like.
Trade Association bought 10,000 copies of your book.
Feels like a Hunter Biden painting. It sucks, and we know it sucks, and it's not worth $5 million. It's 10 until the top of the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hi, friends. It's Matt Murphy for the Tennessee Sleep Apnea and TMJ Solution Center. Let's talk about Dr. Brian McLaughlin for a moment. He is an Army veteran. He is a veteran of our military and our armed forces. I love that about him. I love the fact that he is a great man when it comes to oral appliances that were perfected by Dr. Stephen Poss, that have now been advanced by Dr. Brian McLaughlin for well over a year now. These oral devices are FDA approved. They are individually made for your mouth. In other words, they do a 3D scan of your mouth, and they form this form-fitted appliance into your mouth, and it gently holds your jaw forward, keeps the airway open. You breathe better throughout the course of the night. You don't stop breathing. You don't snore, and it alleviates the health issues that come with sleep apnea. This is incredible technology. It's for mild to moderate sleep apnea. I know I use one, and I encourage you to do the same. They're in Murfreesboro, and they're in Brentwood. For those of you that need, go to TennesseeSleep.com and find out more. That's TennesseeSleep.com. Find out more. Your insurance is going to cover a lot of this. They're in network with most insurance companies in the state of Tennessee. Go to TennesseeSleep.com. How's your power bill? I mean, I don't know about y'all, but my power bill was way too much. And I know that you probably feel the same thing because the power bills are going up and up. Did you know that an efficient cooling device from Jeff Eddy and Efficient Heating and Cooling can benefit you from a power space? Now, there are other things that you might want to consider, insulation and windows and these types of things. But an efficient cooling system from Efficient Heating and Cooling is one way to try to mitigate some of these crazy power bills in the heat of summer. If you're trying to make a decision whether to replace or repair, that is part of the consideration process, how much you're paying currently in power and whether or not you can get a better and more efficient system running your AC or your heat as the season comes. Efficient can offer you that brand new product from Rheem, or they'll find the right one for you and your family. They offer you financing options as well. They try to keep invoices small. That's why they don't charge you for the weekends or for overnights or the nights. So if you're having problems with that AC, think about Jeff Eddy and Efficient Heating and Cooling. If your AC is not ready, call Jeff Eddy, 615-784-4424, 784-4424, or efficienthvac.net. I feel as if I failed you because I have yet this week to bring up this lady. Give me a little audio there, Jackson. I want to bring up this lady before we go. This is 7 seconds of something that you won't understand. You know what that woman is saying right there, Cameron Smith?
That she is a foreign national first and not an American.
That is Representative Delia Ramirez from Illinois saying that she is a proud Guatemalan before an American. Congratulations.
That's
ding,
great.
Ding. I believe that, that's kind of borderline a violation of your oath, a little bit.
I don't know how I've never gotten that. I've always learned God, family, country, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not God, family, country, another country. Then
that's the thing. You know where she was born?
Where?
Chicago.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
Her family's from Guatemala.
Right.
So she's going to Central America, not Middle America, Central America. She's from Middle America, going to Central America, saying that she's a proud Guatemalan before an American. Before an American. That's borderline.
Yeah.
I think she should be removed from office.
It's like me being like, I'm a proud Brit. Like,
right.
Really? No.
Right. We fought a war, man.
Gross.
Speaking of gross, good luck with your boys.
Thank you.
You're welcome. There's Cameron Smith. He writes for the Tennessee. And by the way, speaking of writing and speaking, all the best words. Join us on the podcast.
Yeah, man.
Come on, be one of the few, the proud that catch every episode. We are in the 40s now, for goodness sake. We're taking a week off, though. We got a week off from the podcast, so that gives you a chance to catch up.
Yep.
We want all of you to catch up. All the best words found on where all of your platforms are found. Go to 997WTN.com. That's the easiest way to do it. For Cameron, for Young Jackson, for Ken Weaver, Matt Murphy, back tomorrow on a Thursday edition. Until then, have a great evening, folks. Hug your loved ones. So long, everybody.